Hey everyone, welcome back to the Keep Watching podcast, where we decide what to watch so you don't have to. I'm James.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we're going to be talking about Transit Love 3, episodes 1 to 3. Sarah, have you got any mysterious packages from your ex recently?
No, I can't say I have.
Your ex hasn't sent you their package recently. Okay.
No. But we did get the mysterious package of season 3 of the show that I have to say I was a little bit dreading to start.
Okay.
But now that we're 3 episodes in, I might be a little hooked on it. We'll see.
Really?
If it continues.
Oh,
but
wow. Okay.
Yeah. I had a good time with these first 3 episodes.
Really? Okay. Wow. I went into the show keeping my expectations low.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like my expectations are still low, but but the early days of all these shows are like kind of fun.
Yeah.
We get into some stuff in episode 3.
Yeah. I'd say episode 3 when I was just absolutely bawling. I'm like, oh, they got me. Yeah.
You were bawling?
What happened. I was crying so hard.
Oh, so you're actually doing what the hosts were doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. No way.
Bad.
I wasn't even close. Okay.
Really? Oh. So cold-hearted. I can't imagine.
I guess. I don't know. Okay, we'll talk about it when it happens. Maybe you can explain it to me. But
oh, I will.
Okay. Yeah, so we just finished up Love Catcher and Bali in our last podcast.
We both really enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah.
Yes, I think that is my new favorite format, and now we're switching to what is currently ranked as our least favorite format. But I mean, it's only 4 shows, it's like fourth of 4. But yeah, somebody reminded us because we said that Love Catcher Bali was like the first young man, older woman match. Apparently,
we were very wrong. We forgot a lot of people.
Apparently, in Transit Love 2, there was 2 of these couples. One of them was only like 1 year difference, which I don't feel bad about remembering. But then the other one is like 4 year difference, which is actually like fairly significant.
But I think it's still true that we haven't seen the youngest guy on the show get coupled off ever before, and that happened in Love Catcher Bali.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm just holding on to the slightest bit in which we were still right.
It was 8 years. I mean, 8 years.
Yeah, it was also a much bigger difference.
Do you think there's like a mentality of like purposely not being interested in the youngest guy, but then you like, I don't know. It's probably more random than we give it credit for. It just really seems like the younger guys.
Well, I think with the younger guy, just automatically you're going to have a bigger age gap. So if you're uncomfortable with that, you'll go for a different guy, I would think.
Okay. And then some of the other comments we got about Love Catcher is that some people weren't into it because it like feels a little dirty, basically. The show.
Yeah. Fair.
We all like two podcasts ago we talked about Traitors, which is another show where you have like a role that you're playing. But on that show you don't get to choose your role. It's like given to you. Yeah. But I don't know, like
and it's a little less personal because like you're not faking or whatever like feelings for someone. Like I think that
I mean you do. I mean, like, you saw season 1 of Traitors, right? Like
true.
You saw season 1 of Traitors. Like you fake like you. Well, you don't necessarily have to fake it. Like you're like, I like you as a person, and like we have a friendship, but also I'm a traitor on this TV show, and I'm taking the money. Like
yeah.
I do see the difference. Like you have to specifically fool one person instead of like the entire cast.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. For me, it's like not that much morally different, but like I thought a lot of mine, like you're on a show that you can win money on. So, yeah. I don't know. Like, what if the show was called like Money? Like, if the show wasn't called Love Catchers and it was called like Get the Money or something, but like had the exact same rules, would you be more inclined to accept people being money catchers
because,
on that
like,
show?
if it has the same rules where it's like you might be here for true love or whatever, like that's the thing that makes it feel a little oof.
Yeah, I guess I just don't have much sympathy for like anybody that's coming on a show called like that. They know what the show is. They know what the show is.
Yeah.
Like if you really cared,
they're taking a calculated risk.
If you really cared about like finding a relationship,
you would pick a different show.
be on a different show or not go on the show at all. But like clearly you're here because you are okay with the possibility of being fooled by a money catcher.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a love catcher on the show. Like, I don't know. I don't have much sympathy for them on the show.
I will say, like, the people on the show didn't seem to be that put off by the people who were money catchers, right? Like, I mean, the one that she clearly knew she didn't pick him at the end, but like, she wasn't like, "Oh, you are morally abhorrent for having chosen the money route," you know?
I mean, I think people that actually liked another person, and if they would have been money, or when they found out that they were money, like it was.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
it was tough for them, but
Suru was definitely like, if you are a money catcher, I will never trust anyone again in my life. You're right. You're right.
So I don't know, but like, yeah, I don't know. I don't see it as that different. Like, you know, the TV show when you go on it, so it's like, I don't know. I loved that format. I needed a little treachery in my reality TV show. All right, whatever. Let's move on to Transit Love 3.
Yeah.
So, what is Transit Love, in case somebody listening doesn't know, Sarah?
Transit Love is a show where they it starts off with 8 people in a house, and they're like, hey, live here for 3 weeks and find love or whatever. Except everybody's in this house also with their exes. There might be some exes that show up later. That's happened last season. But yeah, it's are you going to get together with your ex, or are you going to meet somebody new? And also keep the secret of who your ex is. You can't reveal it to anybody. So people cry a lot and just can't be open about how they're feeling. And last time it was a big ol' mess.
Yeah. What's crazier, Sarah? To go on Transit Love with your ex, or to go on Love Catcher? What's like a more ridiculous decision to make?
I think it entirely depends on the relationship you have with your ex. If you have a chill relationship with your ex and you're not that invested in getting back together with them, and you're not a jealous person or whatever, then maybe this is okay. But if you are desperate to get back with them, or they're desperate to get back with you, or you had a really unhealthy relationship to begin with and you shouldn't be anywhere near each other, don't go on the show. It's a bad idea.
Okay.
For everyone. You're not just going to have a miserable time yourself. You're going to make everybody else real sad.
I feel like I would go on Transit Love if like somebody invited me to be on the show. Like, I'm not going out and like thinking of an ex to invite to be on the show. But like, if somebody was like, I want to go on the show, will you go on with me? I'm like, sure. And then like, I'll just do my thing on the show. But I would rather be on Love Catcher though. And just be a money catcher on Love Catcher.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's the best case scenario. Okay.
That is entirely, I would have guessed that's what you would rather pick, yes.
So yeah, I had low expectations going into this, mostly just because I just, you know, I've actively tried to enjoy it this time.
Yeah.
Around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we enjoyed it in the early days of season 2. It was just,
yeah, definitely.
It just got long, and then I think it finished pretty good. I didn't like the results, but I think the show was good at the end.
I think part of it was we didn't have the right expectation for the show. Like, we were thinking of it as a normal dating show where the production would be as invested in new couples as they would be with people getting back together. But
yeah,
now production is really focused on people getting back together. That's the story they're trying to tell. And if they have to torture a poor woman who desperately wants to get back with her ex to do it, they will.
Yeah.
So being prepared for that, I feel like maybe we're going to have a smoother experience. Also, there were some particular personalities on the season that we watched that really drove me crazy.
I'm hoping,
watching people fight.
I'm hoping we don't have personality from season 2, but I'm worried. I'm definitely worried already.
Okay.
We'll get to who I'm worried about. I wrote in my notes, I'm not super invested in solving who the exes are this time. That ended up, I ended up like pausing the show because I had to stop watching like after the first round of texting. And then I spent like a bunch of time when I wasn't watching the show thinking about who everybody's exes were and who everybody texts each other. But I wasn't planning on giving too much of a crap about trying to figure out the exes thing.
But they sucked you in. They got you.
Yeah. I mean, I ended up like, the most of what I was thinking about, I was like, what is like the edit strategy of the exes. And I think I basically, I'll spoiler it now.
Okay.
Like, at least the way I think about it is like, if they tell you, if somebody on the show, either one of the participants or the host, is like, I think this person and this person can be an ex, then just cross that off the list as a possibility.
Yeah, they're definitely not.
And literally, if you do that, I think you can figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were definitely a couple times where I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I think this person and that person, they vibe together. And then the next scene was the host going, these two people. I'm like, well, fuck, I was wrong.
Yeah, they don't narrow it down all the way, but like with a couple more like observations, I at least I was able to figure out like the second reveal before it happened.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, I feel like we didn't have enough information.
Yeah, that they revealed that one so quick.
Yeah, I really just want to know who the exes are from the start of the show. I'll be honest, like, yeah, we'll get into it when we talk about the different segments, but I just feel like a lot of the segments would just be better if we already knew who the exes were.
You would like know where the tension is, without relying on the edit.
And I think it's partially because this show is like so many episodes and takes up so much time that like I feel like the show doesn't really start until we know who all the exes are.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the show has like another point that it gets to where like, okay, now all the contestants know who all the exes are, and then like that's another stage of the show. So it's like we're in like the first stage of the show where even we don't know all the exes, because there could also be more people that get added, and those are the exes of the people that are already in the house. So it's like, yeah,
like even watching the intro bit where everybody walked in one by one, I was like, damn it, I really wish I knew who was who so I could read this tension properly.
Yeah, like if we knew, it's actually like interesting to see how they behave around each other if we knew who the exes were.
Like after we got the second couple reveal, I almost went back and rewatched the beginning, but I didn't have time.
Yeah, that is like, I feel like there's a way to like re-edit the footage we get, and it like becomes a more enjoyable experience to watch. And like, I don't know if they want people to like rewatch it or what it is, but I did feel that way. Like I'm not gonna do it. I'm not a big enough fan of the show to go back and rewatch. Yeah. But I did, like, whenever it confirms who the couples are, you're like, oh, I wonder if I go back if I can like see anything. Like, yeah. I feel that way too, but I'm not gonna go do it. But
and it seems unlikely that you would see things because I feel like they particularly edited sidelong glances that looked like they were directed at people who were not couples just to throw you off. So it probably wouldn't even be that satisfying.
There wouldn't be any, I don't think they're necessarily giving you clues, but there'd just be like little things like where they sit when they get there, or like
that's true,
the look of their face. I don't know. I think there's some interesting things. But what else? Yeah, like we said, like the point of the show, at least based on our experience with season 2, is just like it's the relationships between the exes. The other things they're not as invested in. Part of my frustrations with last season was like the big couple that everybody liked at the end that may still be together. Like I truly didn't really know like why they vibed with each other. Like that was like I saw that it was happening, but like I didn't get any like, I didn't feel like there was any like big conversation that they had that I was like, oh yeah, they have like a bunch of similarities and that's like they're gonna be a great match for each other. It was just like, they're picking each other and I can see that they're vibing because like they're close, but like I don't know, I just like didn't really get it.
Yeah.
And maybe there was nothing, but also the show just spent a lot of time focusing on the exes part of it, not any new couples.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that one of the big struggles I have with the show, honestly, is like I just don't have a lot of empathy for people who like can't get over a bad relationship, and which is partially why maybe I did not cry at the end of this. It's like
I don't know that we know enough to say that that's a bad relationship or not. I don't know.
We don't know, but I mean, like, it ended, right? So there had to have been a reason it ended. Also, we'll get into it. It's a little suspicious, the whole situation, but we'll get into it.
Okay.
I think the emotions are real, but it's also like a little, the timing of everything is like a little sus.
Oh, the timing is bizarre and they should not be on the show because like just from a emotional health standpoint, no, it's not a good time to be on the show.
So season 2 was a lot of like really focusing on exes that are like clearly in a bad relationship and they couldn't get over each other, and like I'm not here for it. I'm just not. But I think like what I'm gonna focus on this season is just rooting for my default thing to root for is just none of the exes to get back together. I think it's like my main
No, my entire watching of this is now about that second couple that got revealed.
You want them back together?
I want so badly.
Okay.
So badly.
Interesting. I'm not there
now
yet.
Things might change, but as far as what I've seen so far, that's all the show is for me right now.
I do think they aren't unlikable.
Okay.
I'm not rooting against them. I would say, yeah, I'm not rooting against them. But in general, going into the show, I was like, I'm going to root for none of the exes to get back together this time.
It would be interesting just to see how production handles that scenario when they're coming into this hoping that its ex is getting back together.
And I wrote in my notes, I want to appreciate the vibes of the show without overthinking its flaws. I don't think I was able to do that, but that was my mindset in my notes before I started.
All right,
so I'm probably still going to complain about stuff.
Let's see how well it goes.
I know I'm going to complain about stuff. But yeah, like the early vibes in the show are fun. Like I think all these shows, like if you think about being on these shows and the prospect of dating new people, and assuming you're the ex that got invited and you don't give a shit about your ex, theoretically, you could have a fun time on this show. If you still have feelings for your ex, this might be
not the healthiest way to address them. Probably
this might be a rough experience.
But production's rooting for you, so you got that at least.
No, production is not on your side. Like they're
well, they want you to get back together for good TV, but they will milk it for all your misery that they can. Yeah,
production is trying to mentally fuck you up on this show. Like that is their goal.
Yeah, they do love people crying in the street. Absolutely.
Yeah, they really love that. So I think we're gonna start by recapping up to like them introducing all the people. And then I kind of liked what we did for Love Catcher Bali, where like we kind of went participant by participant and talked about them.
Yeah.
And then if we get to like an event that happened in the show as it pertains to them, we can explain that event and we'll do it that way. I kind of liked the way we did it. So
yeah, let's go for it.
Let's try that. I also wrote down when we were watching season 2, we predicted that the twist for season 3 would be that somebody would have multiple exes in the house. Do we still think that that's a possibility, Sarah?
I would love it. And like there was a brief moment where I thought it was happening because like they get boxes from their exes.
Oh.
And somebody made like an offhand comment like, "Oh, she has 2 boxes" or something, but it never, like, nobody actually did. And I think it's just the one person had a big box and they were like, "Oh, maybe she has 2 boxes in the big box." And for a moment I was like, yes, they did it. But so far does not seem to be true.
It's possible like somebody opened their one box and then it had like 2 compartments in it, or like 2 boxes in it, and then they were somehow able to hide that from us.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I would love the idea that like somebody knows they're gonna have multiple exes on the show, but the 2 exes do not know that they have multiple. I'm kind of here for that. Like that
would be great.
That's like so messy that it's funny.
We did only get one like ex introduction letter from everybody, which I mean they would have to do to hide. So I would think if we were gonna get somebody that has 2 exes, they would be an add-in later, and their exes are like already in the house. So like they're right now each getting one thing from their ex, but later their ex is gonna roll up and they're gonna realize they have the same ex or something.
Okay. I don't know if it just like has to be that, but yeah. What if they're already in the house, but they like gave the ex introduction letter of the person that was in the house to them or something?
Oh, that's also true. Yeah. I don't know.
They can do it a number of ways. It kind of, unless like multiple people have multiple exes, it kind of like messes up the numbers a little bit. But
yeah.
I don't know. It's like a little too wild. But just in case it happens, we did predict it.
Yeah,
and they probably listen to our
taking credit right now. Yeah, it's definitely
in the show. Okay,
definitely us. Yep.
We're also like 7 episodes behind on this show in terms of time. But we promise we are not spoiled.
Not at all.
All right, ready to start with episode 1.
Let's do it.
All right, we're starting again.
Yeah, in October this time though.
Oh yeah, October. What was it last time? Like winter or?
It was like March, April, I think. Maybe April, May, something like that. Like early spring.
Heart Signal was like Christmas in the one season I watched, and then it was like late winter, early spring. I don't remember. I don't remember
mixing it up with Heart
Signal. I don't
Signal.
remember what this one was. I feel like
they went outside and did things in like they went hiking and shit.
Yeah, I feel like it was.
I want to say it was spring.
Warm. Okay.
Yeah, spring, summer.
They went to Jeju and I don't know, whatever.
I don't know. I don't know. Remember. Jeju might be like nice all the time. I don't know.
Okay, not that far away.
But they were outside and it was warm
That is
before they
more
went
south.
there.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Before we get to the house, though, we have this cutting of the strings segment.
Yes, our thematic thing is like, are you gonna sever ties with your ex? Or are you gonna try to tie things back together? I guess is the other end of it.
Yeah. I actually like this
Mhm.
because one of the things I struggled with in season 2 was like I really wanted to know like, okay, who invited who to be on the show, and like how did everybody feel about the other person
Yeah.
when like the show started.
And we do get a lot of like flashbacks to like pre-interview stuff where they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely not going to get back together with them," but like this feels like they have a deciding moment where they have to like cut it or not, and it feels a bit more definitive.
Yeah, like you can like twist your words to like convince yourself of like whatever and kind of make it sound like either you're like still considering or you're like not. I don't know. You can like people can like say whatever they want, but like this is like you physically have to cut a ribbon or not cut a ribbon.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it's more meaningful. Now they don't reveal it this in the beginning, but so far with the two couples they've revealed, like they show us right afterwards what they did, and I think I don't know. I like that. I like this additional information. It looked like, unless they like just faked it, it looked like 4 of them got cut, although maybe only 7 of them were like in the shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I feel like at least 4 people have to not cut the string. Because like if you okay, here's my thing. If you invited somebody to be on the show and you cut the string, like what are we doing?
Like trying to be on TV. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. So now people that got invited could also not cut the string. So there could be like yeah. But I feel like hopefully at least half of the people, one half of every ex couple did not cut the string. So far that holds true.
Yeah, it does seem to be that people who invited people have not cut the string.
Yes. So we're good so far.
Yeah.
That was a big issue I had with some people in season 2. It's like, you were the one that invited this person. What the hell are you doing? Okay. I kind of got annoyed already in the beginning of the show because maybe other shows do this too, and I'm just being too harsh, but like I feel like there was a lot in the opening of like us getting like confessionals of all the people, and they were like saying stuff about themselves and how they felt about their ex and all these other things. I was like, I don't know your names. I don't know who you are. I wish I knew who you are so I could remember you. Yeah, because like I was like, I'm not going back and rewatching this after I figure out who you are. Like, I don't know, it's in the wrong order. I just wish it was in the right order.
Yeah, I had the same problem where I'm like, why this I can't take notes on this. This is useless to me right now.
I don't know. Maybe they said nothing meaningful and it wasn't even worth it anyway. But
and it was definitely one of those things where they're like layering different people after each other to make it seem like they're talking about the same thing.
I didn't even pay attention.
Clearly, probably not.
I don't know who you are. Okay. We have the same host as season 3, except Bam Bam is not here yet, or he
might be here later. Yeah,
I don't know.
We did get like that seat seemed to be rotating like through hosts. So
last season, but then they made it seem like
Bam but Bam I mean this.
Like, this season. Oh, was it different in each episode? I didn't even notice.
Well, I know there were definitely at least 2.
Oh, people. I missed it. Oh wow. Okay. But I got the main 4.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you get your main 4, and then you've got like a celebrity extra person who, rotates through right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
At least until Bam Bam's not busy.
And then they do the whole like exes meet in like a cafe to talk, but then it's all edited, so you can't tell who's actually talking to who.
Yes.
That whole thing. Again, like they're saying stuff to each other, but it I don't know. When I didn't know what the concept of the show was in season 2, I did think it was like kind of like cool, but. Now I just want to. I just want to get to the point. I just want to get to the point in the show where I know all the information. So far, I know nothing, and
yeah.
But you basically have no information from this because they just edited it to like look like they're talking to each other, but they're not. They did do one thing where like 2 of the people like clanged their glasses together. Did you see that part?
Oh, I think I missed
that. I was like, oh, that was pretty good, but I feel like they met like perfectly in the middle, but like they clanged them in like a way that I wouldn't think that they would have clanged, like once somebody clanged high and somebody clanged low, but they managed to like sync it perfectly in the middle somehow. I thought that was pretty good, but it looked like it could be real, but it probably isn't.
I just liked when they showed people looking at the ribbons, they like made that section of the screen in black and white because like people's ribbons match based on their couple apparently, and they didn't want to give any of it away. It was just like a strip
I didn't even notice
black and white film.
I didn't even notice that. Okay. All right. Are we ready to meet everybody?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, finally. I don't know how long this took, but I was
no like... giant hill this time.
It's still hilly, but it's not as crazy. It doesn't seem. All right. Let's just do them in the order they come in. What do you got about Quante?
Quante. Yeah, he's a bro. He shows up first. He gets to go through the whole house. I don't
He's a bro and he shows up first.
Yeah, he's just some guy. I don't know.
Handsome. He's handsome.
Okay.
He's good
tell me
looking.
What the host said. Okay.
He's handsome, he's good looking, and he looks like a tough man.
Okay. Sure, host. Sure.
He's gonna end up being like the social guy, or like the I think they subtitles call him like the popular guy. Like the guy who's like in a social setting is like doing a lot of talking, basically. There's always one guy who's like the social guy of the season, and this is going to be Quante.
And that, in combination with him getting there first, and therefore like having time to scope out the house, like he ends up taking on this role like he owns the house. It's very like he's taking care of people, being like, "Oh, that thing's over there," or "Oh, let me get you that," and it like continues for like 2 days at least.
He's actually just gonna like publicly just like write everybody's name down on his phone so that he doesn't forget their names. He's very determined to learn everybody's name. That's pretty smart. I'd be like too socially awkward to do that, and then I would just forget everybody's name.
Yeah.
All right, Quante, social guy. All right, we'll just get like a good way to remember all these people. Next is Hyewon.
Yeah, Hyewon. She was I don't know. She came in while like Quante was trying to like write on the board in the front, and like none of the markers were working.
Yeah,
and
Quante
so
was
like just shaking them violently, and she's just like, "Oh, hi." It was a very awkward first interaction.
Yeah, Quante is like shaking his marker when Hyewon enters the house, if you know what I'm saying.
And then they shake markers together.
And then she helps him shake it. Yeah. And then unfortunately, they can't get his marker to work.
It's a very sad day.
It's a very bad start for Quante.
I mean, it pulls around for him later. He is quite popular.
Pulls around for him later. Good one. Okay. Yeah, Hyewon. Yeah, the marker thing was the main thing. I mean, that was kind of Quante's thing, but the whole marker thing was hilarious to me.
Did the host say anything about her?
They did not. Actually, like, there's a few people the host say nothing about, and I feel like it's a little bit of a... Like, because for, like, other girls, they'll be like, she's cute, or like, he's handsome. But then, like, a couple people didn't get anything, and I'm like, damn, the host
feels bad.
Yeah, feels bad. Or the host being like, that person is not as attractive as I'm used to. And then they just don't put it in the edit.
Well,
okay, Hyewon is definitely attractive.
Everybody on these shows are attractive.
I don't know why. Unless I just missed it. Yeah, I don't have host quotes on everybody. All right, next is Dongjin.
Resident sad boy. Is how I
to start, yeah, he was like really awkward to start. He's good looking. That's all they said.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah, he seems like super shy at first and doesn't talk much.
Yeah, I feel like he's always like looking at his phone and
But I feel like on day 2, like he became a lot more social. Like everybody did, but I noticed a bigger difference in him.
Yeah. But he is still taking his time to like secretly go cry. Like he is legit resident sad boy.
And we have Juwon.
He's got a perm. Got big
messy,
fuzzy.
Well, I called him messy hair guy, and then he's like, "Oh, it's a perm." Okay, yeah. The hosts say, "Is he a rapper?" And then a lot of the other participants also just guess that he's like a musician or an artist or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just his hair that was why they're saying this.
Probably, yeah.
Like in order to get like a perm in Korea, like you must be making some sort of artistic.
No,
statement.
I just think like aesthetically, like. With the perm and maybe what he was wearing, he looks like he might make music. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't disagree. I don't know why. It just seems.
Okay, and then these 4 are in the house now. And then they start talking about where they live.
Yes. different neighborhoods.
This is definitely not allowed in previous seasons, and I feel like it wasn't allowed here. But they there's like a envelope on the table, and they haven't opened it yet.
That's true. The rules don't apply if you haven't read them yet.
You're not allowed to give away any information other than your name. And I feel like
that rule is always there, but that can't be true because literally you could not talk about anything. Like you can't be like, I like to go on bike rides. Like,
yeah, I just
that's
feel like,
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like you should be able to talk about your hobbies or like whatever, but like I feel like where you live could be significant, or at least like where you grew up would definitely be significant, especially on this show where
that is true. Where you're worried about exes.
Yeah, and the show very much cares about people finding out who the exes are.
That's true. But I mean, they all mentioned like neighborhoods in Seoul. So like it's not like they're far enough away where it would be prohibitive to have been in a relationship with anybody. You know what
I mean? Yeah. It's like where they live now, so it doesn't necessarily correlate to. But if like two people ended up being in the same town, I don't know, I feel like it would at least make the participants think about it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just surprised they were allowed to talk about it.
Hey, I was just happy they were talking because normally this beginning part is just like people sitting there not telling each other their names. And then eventually somebody's like, can you cook? We're going to die if nobody can cook. Like,
yeah, so these four were talking. As you add more and more people, especially on this show, it gets more and more awkward because people's exes start coming in.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, because so like these four probably aren't exes.
Oh, we know for a fact that it's because it's one woman and three men, and she's part of the first couple we find out.
Yeah. So they were like talking. As other people come in, it gets a little awkward.
Everything shuts down.
Yeah, so.
And there is this awkwardness where like all the guys end up sitting on one side of the room and all the girls are clumped together. Normally like people pick seats in between to like mix it up and, talk to potential people to date.
Okay, and then Dahye comes in. I was impressed with Dahye's outfit, personally.
Yeah, when she came in, I was like, she feels like an it girl. I don't know. She's just
an it girl. Oh, okay. I noticed a nice like tight jeans butt shot as she was walking up the stairs.
Okay, fair.
The hosts say, "Gosh, she's beautiful," and then they talk about how she looks very familiar, and then eventually they figure out that she's from
a former idol, an
idol, from Bestie.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't anymore, I don't think, or we haven't found.
Yeah, I looked it up. She's not in it anymore. She has gone on to try to do solo singing stuff. I don't know. I didn't go deep, but she's theoretically maybe still a singer.
Okay, so yeah, K-pop idol Dahye, and then Seokhyun comes in.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got about Seokhyun? She's cute, and she reminds me of a little chick.
All right. That about sums it up.
Again, this is what the hosts are saying, not me.
Yeah, I know, but it's not wrong. She's cute.
I mean, I don't know what that means, but
like I don't know, like a cute little baby.
This is what I thought when Seokhyun came in, like that was the first big awkward moment. I guess Dahye's ex was in the house when she came in because we're gonna find out about that one. But yeah, it's like very awkward when she sits down, like nobody's talking, and then this was the moment. Like I actually forgot. Like when I was watching, it took so long to get to this point. Like I kind of actually just forgot to think about the ex's aspect of the show until she sat down, and I was like, "Why did it get so awkward all of a sudden?" I was like, "Oh yeah, the exes thing." But she also just seems like she could just be a quiet type person. So I don't know. It's kind of hard.
We do. They all go through their MBTIs at some point, and she is an introvert person.
I so do not care to talk about MBTIs anymore. I'm done.
Okay.
Even some of the people on this season were like, yeah, I don't really care about that. And then another person's like, yeah, I'm too... Or somebody said like they don't really care about it either, or they don't really know about it or something. And they were like, oh, you must be a young person if you don't know.
No, it was the opposite. Dahye was like, I don't really know much about that. And then like Gwante was just like, oh, I guess that means you're an older person.
Okay. Well, she is older, right? She's got to be 30 something.
I mean, well, we don't know exactly, but like given the timeline of her relationship, yeah, she's likely early 30s.
I feel like Seokhyun has like a unique voice. Like I can't tell what it is. Like it's like nasally or like deeper than most girls' voices. I feel like I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of time in these first 3 episodes, I had a little trouble distinguishing her from Yoojung. Like I lost track of which girl was who.
Oh, it was Seokhyun and Yoojung you had trouble with?
Yeah.
Wow.
Who did you have trouble with?
I had trouble with Seokhyun and Hyeon. And then
Okay.
when Dahye cries, I get her confused with all three of them. Like she looks like them when she cries, I feel like.
I feel like they all have similar hair lengths, and that might not even be true, but like my brain has decided it is, and I'm just
Okay.
like, we need like some drastic haircuts for these first couple episodes while I get used to people.
Yeah, for some reason, Yujeon, I feel like I was able to consistently know it was her.
Okay.
But the other ones I got confused.
Well, you might have to correct me at some point when I say she does a thing and she does not, in fact, do that thing.
When they're doing a tour of the house, there's like a moment where they're showing like a weird kind of like extra room that people can like go to talk, and then they show like weird flash forwards.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They like
yeah.
fade to flash forwards, which I didn't even realize were flash forwards until I like had to go back and watch it. And then there's like a girl crying, and I literally like went through. I was like, oh, that must be Seokhyun crying. And then later I was like, oh wait, I think that was Hyeon. And then it ended up being Dahye crying the whole time. I was like, I had no idea.
I love that production's like, yeah, look at this room. We knew that
crying.
people would need a secret place to cry.
We know we're gonna make people want to cry alone by themselves in a room. Here's that room to use. Okay. And then Huihyun, he's not ordinary. He's wearing pink.
I guess.
He's really handsome.
It is funny though, because his pink does match a chair. Like,
yeah,
exactly.
it did, yeah. Yeah, so he comes in, I think Juwon was like sitting in this like pink chair, and then as soon as he saw him, it was like he got up, he's like, you're meant to sit in this chair. And then he sat in the chair, and he really did kind of blend in with the chair.
It was pretty good, yeah.
It wasn't really pink though. Would you call it like?
Yeah, it looked a little orangey, and I couldn't tell if that was just like my screen or what.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Regardless, he matched that chair.
Yeah. And again, I feel like it was awkward when he came in too. Like the more people you add, it's like, oh, more and more exes are here.
We did get a cutaway where Dongjin is like, he looks like an idol. So
nah, that's everybody.
Okay.
I didn't write down what other people said about each other, only the hosts.
I think that's the only one I did write down.
And then Yujong is our last one.
Oh no, this I did write down because both Jae and Seokhyun were like, I think my ex would be into Yujong.
Oh yeah, okay.
So maybe she's the it girl.
Maybe I wrote in my notes that like I guess that she was like the oldest woman. I don't know. I just got a vibe that she was more mature. I feel like she's not. I feel like Dahye is gonna end up being the oldest woman.
Yeah.
The hosts say she's beautiful, and the hosts think that all the men are impressed by her.
Oh.
Like if all the women left the room right now, they would all the guys would like silently look at each other and be like, "Do you see that girl?" just like on Heart Signal.
Yep.
Signal 4. Okay. Yeah, 8 people, 4 women, 4 men.
Some of them are exes.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them aren't.
I hope some of them are. Yeah. What if they did like the 2 island twist where like nobody in this house is exes, and then
but there's another house that you're going to merge
house.
with later that has all of your exes in it.
No, that wouldn't make any sense at all. No, that's about why would they bother having them in the house without their exes?
Well, then it's like, well, that's if we had different production whose goal was not to get all the exes back together, but was to like introduce that tension of
that's like
new relationships, and then but now your ex is here. What does that change anything?
Yeah, that's actually like a better format, but it's definitely logistically harder.
And not what the show is going for at all.
Yeah, maybe because it's logistically harder, but I don't know.
I think it's because it has less people crying in the street, but that's just me.
One of the big things that happened last season was like, so 2 people started out in the house, one guy, one girl, and their ex wasn't in the house. And like their behavior was definitely like different in retrospect because like they didn't have to worry. Yeah. Not even just like worry about like seeing their ex, but they also didn't like have to actively pretend like their ex wasn't in the house. So like they got to like be themselves for a few days before their ex showed up.
And they didn't have to worry about like offending their ex if they're like flirting with someone new, or there's just like all this extra baggage that everyone else had to deal with.
Yeah. Which seems more healthy than what this show does, than anybody else that has to immediately see their ex. But all right. Did you write down all the house rules this time?
Oh, of course they
They're
did.
a little bit different than season 2.
They are ever so slightly different. We have you are not allowed to reveal or mention your ex on purpose.
On purpose.
You're not.
They had to put that in,
Yeah,
or everybody would be kicked off the show.
Yep. You're not allowed to date anyone until the final decision. You're
What's
not
that,
allowed.
That just means like you can't be like we're in a relationship.
Yeah,
right?
you can't
like,
be locked in until
like literally the show's gonna make them go on dates, and also like they're allowed to ask each other on like what do they call them, like
unofficial dates,
informal dates or unofficial dates. Yeah, like they're allowed to have unofficial dates, but those is that why they call them unofficial? Because if they were dates, then it would not.
No,
be
I think
allowed.
they're just unofficial because they're not like production planned. I think they're here when they say you're not allowed to date anyone, they mean you're not allowed to be dating anyone in a like we are in a relationship now until the final decision.
Okay, because like we're gonna see like somebody be like, "Hey, you want to go get donuts with me?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And then that like that's a date in my mind, but okay.
You're not allowed to give away any information other than your name. Normally, this is
they cheated.
You're not allowed to say your name or your age or occupation.
Those are the big ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the big.
And I think that's the spirit of the rule that these people are following.
Yeah, it's also just like information that would give away who your ex is, I think.
Yeah. You're not allowed to share social media accounts or numbers. You're not allowed to contact each other personally. And then this fun new random one is a pair of a man and a woman will take turns to clean the house every day.
Yeah, I loved this rule because this is such a huge slam on the slobs from season 2.
Well, it's not just
they were
that.
Like, they were like, we're not dealing with this shit again. It's literally a fucking rule. You have to clean the house this time.
Well, and it's not just like production being personally offended by how messy it was. It's like the internet was just like, why are these people so messy? Like it was a thing when the show was running. Yeah. They're like, I can't believe these people are so gross. But we don't have to. There's no rule about being home for dinner,
watering the plants
cooking,
was the big one,
or watering plants. Yeah.
You don't think they're? Yeah, I mean they broke the rules like so much last season. Like I guess they just decided to not make them all have the rules, right? Because like again, like these people are living their lives still. Like they're going to work.
Yeah, it's so hard to get everybody to be home every night for dinner at an exact time or whatever. Yeah. Especially when they can't like text each other to coordinate. You know?
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I think the show realized like we can't enforce these rules. Maybe they tried really hard last season and then it just got off the rails and they were like, fuck it.
And they were like, we did have to kick somebody off the show and it was a mess. Let's not have to deal with that again.
Yeah. All right. I don't think we need to go through like the layout of the house. It's a different house than season 2.
Yeah.
I like that. This is like there's 2 bedrooms for the boys and the girls. But they literally have signs that say girls and boys in English on the doors.
Yeah.
Thought that was interesting. I don't know. Was there something very specific about the rooms that they didn't want? Like they wanted the girls to be in.
I guess they wanted the girls to be in the bunk beds. I don't know. Like, because the girls' rooms have bunk beds and the guys' rooms do not.
The guys' rooms don't. Okay, that's interesting. But I feel like there's some. We don't know what it is yet, but I feel like there's something very specific why they wanted it to be like. Because usually they just like all walk around the house and then they all collectively are like, this looks like it's a girl's room, and then they like this looks more like a guy's room, and then they like decide it that way. But the production like specifically told them this time which one was
I mean, production might have been telling them last time, we just didn't like see it in such a
maybe
indicative way.
And then this has the same like layout issue that often happens. I guess it's not necessarily an issue, but like I remember like Heart Signal 2, it's like everybody is like sleeping on the second floor except for 2 people have to sleep on the first floor. It's like 2 of the guys are sleeping on the first floor and everybody else is
upstairs.
Yeah. Okay. Sarah, are you a top bunk or a bottom bunk person?
Maybe I'm a bottom bunk.
Oh, we can share bunk beds. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm a little bit like worried about it collapsing on me if I'm on the bottom.
Oh, see, I like roll around in my sleep a lot, so I'm more I'm gonna roll off this top bunk person. Okay. Yeah.
I'd rather like fall out of the top bunk than get crushed like in.
Yeah, like honestly, if I have my choice, it's I'm not sleeping in a bunk bed. It's first of all.
Did we talk about this on? Why did we talk about that? We talked about this on.
The
Squid Game the challenge, yeah, because they have like 5-level bunk
5,
beds
yeah.
in a warehouse.
Oh my gosh.
And we said we would sleep on like the first or second level, right?
Yeah, because like from a social aspect, that is the best way. But like
5 is like too high. Like I don't want to be on the 5th bed in a 5-layered bunk bed. That's
but
too
you don't
high.
want to be like crushed on the first level of a 5-layer bunk bed either. That's a rough time.
Yeah, but no matter where you are in it, like you might get crushed. And like I'm not going to the top, so I guess I'll just risk it. But if it's only 2 levels, I feel like I'd rather be on the top. And then okay, if you had to choose, like if you're in the boys situation where you had to either like be on the second floor with more people or be on the first floor with just your roommate, what would you want?
Am I trying hard on this show to like accomplish goals?
I mean, it's your experience on the show. You do what you want.
I mean, the smart thing to do.
You're on the show.
If I bother coming on this show,
scenario. You're on the show with your ex that you don't care about anymore.
Uh-huh.
That's the scenario where you sleep.
Okay.
Where do you want to sleep?
I mean, if I came on this show, that means I'm trying to date some people. So you got to go on the second floor where the people are.
That's how I feel too. But you're also like working. So like one person was like, I want to be on the first floor because I need to be able to
have to wake up really early. And
if I don't get my sleep, I cannot live my life. So
yeah, normal me likes a little bit more privacy and to choose when to be included in things. But in this scenario, you should be involved all the time.
Yeah, if I was gonna be on the show, I'd definitely be a second floor person. All right, we want to go person by person starting now.
Yeah. I think let's do it. Who you want to go with first?
Let's start with Quante, the first guy that entered. This is our social man. Yes,
he is on the second floor, rooming with Dongjin. Just because they're just talking about rooms.
Yeah, so they're gonna do the whole. This kind of just happens naturally. They don't make them do it, but like they do the normal like night one, half people go get groceries, and then like the other people theoretically are doing the cooking. So he goes to the grocery store. I feel like he's vibing with Dahye.
Yeah, they like split up in there getting ingredients while the other two are getting snacks.
Yeah, him and Dahye have like a lot of scenes over the course of these 3 episodes. And like one of them in particular was very much like it felt like they knew each other, which like you would think that it would be like a dead giveaway, but like we all remember Yi Hyun from season 2 of the show. Like I still don't know what the hell
the fuck happened.
Like if you did like there's 2 people in season 1 that just seemed like they knew each other in like we hate each other way. Like if you were exes you might behave, and they were not exes, and it never got explained.
The first time they met,
we never got to find what the hell that was, because like Yi Hyun just got kicked off the show for breaking the rules. So like I if this was like the first time I'd watched the show, I would have been like, oh, they're definitely exes. But I didn't read too much into it. Because what was it like? So they're vibing at the grocery store. I thought they were like cute together. Yeah, and that made me think like they weren't exes, because I was like, I don't know if the exes would be like grocery shopping together, right? Like this. So I was like pretty confident they weren't exes. But then after they do the whole like you get like an introduction letter from your ex that you have to read that introduces you to everybody, but it's from your ex's perspective. Yes. And like everybody basically cries during this segment.
The whole thing. Yep.
And then after everybody reads their thing, like Dahye like cried a lot. And then they like both go to the kitchen, and then they like kind of have like a check-in moment on each other where they're like they made it seem like they were talking to each other like they were really close. But I feel like just somehow already they just became really close. Yeah.
They just initially vibed. I don't know.
Yeah. And it seems like they vibed over like we didn't really see all of it, but I just get the sense like Dahye like basically opened up to Quante like about her ex situation. Not saying like who it is, but she like basically is like she's really Dahye is gonna end up like really struggling on the show basically. Yeah. And like Quante is like her friend that she's confiding her feelings in basically. Is like that's the vibe I'm getting, but yeah. We're gonna get the Dahye
whole thing.
couple reveal.
Yeah.
At the end of episode 3, and it's not Quante.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless Dahye has multiple exes in the
house. That's true. I don't think so, given the history we get about her ex. I don't think she had time for it.
Yeah, I wrote down in my notes that it seems like many girls, this was prior to the first texting, and it's like, it seems like many girls are into Quante, and then he's going to end up getting 3 texts.
Yeah, I would say he seems totally unbothered while he's here, and so I'm like, his ex is not in the house.
Yeah, I felt that way too. I can't fully decide. I feel like based on using the logic of like, if this show, everything this show tells you is a lie, then I kind of feel like his ex might be in the house, assuming like there's only one guy that doesn't have an ex in the house.
Well, not that this counteracts that, because this is something the show told us, but he has a confessional that they show right before they read the ex introductions, and he's like, oh yeah, this is the moment where I was like, oh right, I'm here with people's exes. So that also feels like, like if he was here with his ex, it would be real hard to forget that everybody's exes are around, you know?
It would make a lot of sense if Quante's ex wasn't here, because he's also behaving, I feel like, similarly to the 2 people in season 2 that didn't seem to be struggling in the beginning when their exes weren't there.
Either his ex isn't here, or they had the chillest breakup and he does not give a fuck.
Or like him and his ex, when they talked in the beginning, they have like some sort of agreement that they talked in a way about how they're going to behave on the show that he feels good enough to like be chill. But he might still care about his ex also. But they like agreed to like not text each other or like talk to each other too much until they've dated other people first, at least, or something. I don't know. But it would make a lot of sense if Quante's ex wasn't in the house. Yeah. He has a big cry when he reads his ex introductions, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. He cries through the whole thing.
Dahye
absolutely
also cries, I think, more, but Quante might have been the second most.
That's right.
And maybe that's why they're close. Like maybe they really bonded over their
big reactions
feeling.
To
they
the
talked
letters,
about their feelings about their ex, and they kind of, maybe they're on the same wavelength when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like he was flirting with Hye-won, though, right?
Yes,
on the
also
night.
true. Yep.
Or at least he was responding to Hye-won flirting with him.
Yes. And like, even though he went on the grocery team, like he ends up cooking too. And I think he kind of flirts with her then, unless I've mixed her up with one of the other women. I don't remember.
Oh, in the kitchen?
Yeah.
He was like chopping vegetables really loud. Was that with Hye-won?
Oh, yeah. Loud and fast. Like real chef behavior in the kitchen.
Yes, he ended up doing like the majority of the cooking, right?
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
And then later, he's going to ask Dahye on like a running date, which we don't get to see yet. That was like towards the end of the episode, right?
Yeah, they're cleaning the house, and by cleaning the house, I mean he's vacuuming and she's following him around and being sad.
Yeah.
But then he like gives her a little pep talk in the crying room and is like, let's go running. And then she's like, but running? How about coffee? So they might end up with coffee instead of running. But
so he gets 3 texts on the first night of texting. We've only had one night of texting so far.
2 of them were about cooking. So like it feels like a surefire way to get a text. If you're, like, good at cooking.
Especially first days on these shows, like the chef tends to get maybe like a disproportionate amount of text that they would usually otherwise get if they weren't the chef.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm not sure how long he's gonna be like the number 1 guy on the show, or if it's just because he cooked. I'm not sure. But okay, so but if we assume that Dahye texted her ex,
which is what I do assume.
Before I figured out who Dahye's ex was, I thought she for sure texted Quante. But then when I figured out who her ex was, I was like, well, she seems like she would have texted her ex. But also, I don't know what do you think the mentality is on the show in terms of like night 1 first texting? Like, would you text your ex? I feel like if your ex invited you on the show, you should not be texting your ex night 1 for sure.
Yeah, you probably should not.
Like, you're really cramping yourself
some people
for the
like
rest of the show if you text your ex in the first night. But the person that invited them, like, they might be so obsessed that they text you, but also I feel like they might not want to be like that on night 1 and text their ex.
Yeah.
So it's possible like Dahye did text Quante.
Yeah, we did not get a lot of information about who was texting who or who got a text from their ex. The only ones we know are like people who got no texts. We saw got the texts that are like, your ex did not select you. I feel like last season, at least in the beginning, we normally got like the full spectrum of here are the texts you got, and then here's a text telling you if one of them was your ex or not.
Yeah,
and we didn't get any of that information.
Information out, which I didn't really mind. because usually it's like, here's the exact message that everybody sent, and it's like not that interesting most of the time. So
yeah, people are bad at texting, but it does add an extra level of difficulty in like figuring out who's into who or what they're going through.
So like, it's possible Dahye still texted Kwante. Like, the two people I think definitely texted Kwante are, well, we know Hyewan texted him, "You're cute." They showed that one, and then I feel like Yujong definitely texted him.
Yeah, there's one that's like says thanks for getting groceries and cooking, and says let's cook again. So it's like one of the women he was cooking with.
Okay. And then I felt like there wasn't really a connection between Seokhyun and Kwante, which is why I didn't have her as texting him.
Okay.
But it's possible she did if Dahye was the one that texted her ex. So I'm really not sure.
It's unclear.
Who would you have texted, Sarah, on this season?
Who would I have texted? Probably Kwante. Seemed like he was having fun, and Kwante, just not.
That's a good choice. Yeah, like the person that seems like their ex isn't in the house is probably the person that's going to be most.
Yeah, seemed like he had his shit together.
So the big thing that happened though is like they didn't. So like in Heart Signal this last season, they did like first impression text like right after they met each other, and then they did night one text.
Yeah.
So like if they had done first impression text on the show, I think I would have texted Dahye. But they didn't do their text until after everybody read their ex introduction letters.
Yeah.
And there's like there's no way I was texting Dahye after she cried that much about her ex.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I'm so like, and she doesn't get any text, and I can understand why she did not get any text.
Yep.
She cried way too much. I'm not getting involved with that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially like the only reason I would have texted her at first impression is like purely just like I like the way she looked in that first outfit. Yeah, basically, it's all it is. I feel like I would have ended up texting Yewan only because I feel like had the least reaction to reading her text.
Okay.
But spoilers, I'm gonna end up not really liking Yewan by the end of these first episodes.
Okay, so. Interesting take.
Yeah, I'm pretty out on Yewan. All right. Where do we go from? Is there anything else on Kwante you want to talk about?
Yeah, we did not talk about the boxes at all.
Okay, so explain that. What?
After dinner, but before they read their ex introductions, the doorbell rings and there are a whole bunch of just packages on the front stoop, and they're all addressed to each individual person. They're supposed to go and open them in secret. Some of them take that seriously. Some of them just rip it open in the living room and peek their head in and try not to show anybody what's in it. But it is something from their ex, theoretically from their relationship. I don't know what rules they were all given when picking a thing, but yeah.
Okay.
No one should really be super surprised, I guess, because like production made them give them something for their ex, so they should expect that that's coming up at some point. But yeah.
I mean, you might think it's part of like, remember the whole X room thing from
season that's
2?
true.
Like,
yeah.
I
hope that doesn't happen again.
I feel like it definitely is, but my God. So wait, what about Kwante and the
okay? So he got photos of his cat that he raised with his ex, and it sounds like she still has the cat and he misses the cat. So
that's pretty nice. That's pretty good.
It was a cute cat. Yeah.
What if she returned the cat in the box?
That would be
well,
that would be a problem because it
puts the cat in the box.
Well, yeah, but I mean like then the cat would have to live in the house, right?
Yeah,
but then like that would give away who his ex is, because whoever the cat is most comfortable with is his ex.
Oh, okay. Well, his ex isn't in the house anyway. It's all right.
Yeah, but the moment she shows up, then everybody's like, oh, the cat's suddenly happy. Okay.
You think cats give away who their owner is that much?
I mean, it depends on if they're like a lap cat, yeah, or if they are a cat who is not comfortable around new people, like you would see a difference in behavior.
Maybe, yeah. If it was a cat that was sketchy with everybody, and then one person they weren't, maybe you would know.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I didn't really care too much about the gifts. I mean, some of them are more interesting than others, but did you think that was noteworthy, or it was just?
Well, I just wanted to introduce the concept of it happened.
Gotcha. Okay.
And as far as for the show it's just this production wanted them to cry real fast. That's why they did this.
Can I talk about the X letters?
Yeah.
For a second.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care for it. I mean, I think it's like super awkward. We just get to see people cry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just imagining being on this show why would I want, first of all, why would I want my ex to introduce me to people? Also, if I was interested in somebody, why would I want to be introduced to them by their ex?
I mean, if somebody introduced me to their ex and they were like, yeah, like it didn't work out between us, but this is still a great person, like that's like a recommendation. That has value. I don't know that that's true of any of these people here, but like if you meet somebody who had a nice amicable split, they had a healthy relationship, they're like vouching for a, you know, like,
but isn't that only valuable?
This person is a good person.
Is that only valuable if like you know the person that's doing in the direction? Like these are all strangers. Like why do I care about a stranger introducing someone to me that I'm like flirting
here,
with? I don't know. Like
the value you might get is kind of an insight into how like much their ex is still into them. You know, like there's certain like it. I don't think it happened so much this season, but yeah, last season there was definitely like something that to the equivalent of like, don't come after this man, he is mine. And that I would like to know at the start, like, oh, you have one of those exes. I don't need to bother with this, you know. This season, everything was pretty mild, though.
If anything, like when somebody says that, I feel like at least in season 2, it was like, "Oh, you have made this person look desirable because you're really still into them." Right?
I guess.
Like
I don't know. That's just not how my brain works.
I don't know. I just feel like if I was in the show, it's doing nothing for me. I know I understand the point of it. The point of it is because the show is so focused on making the exes feel things for each other. Like it's supposed to make them start feeling things for each other again. Like I get the point of it, but in terms of watching it, I just don't find it like that interesting of a segment. Like I don't think I wrote down anything from any of the letters this time around because last time we were going like episode by episode and we got into the details of everything, but like I don't know, I don't think there was anything that noteworthy from any of them. Like can you tell me like, oh, this person has an ex that's definitely still into them based on what they wrote?
No, but I can be like, this person cried a whole lot, so maybe their shit is not that.
Oh yeah. I guess that's true. I guess if I was on the show and I saw Daehyun cry, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna waste a text on her. Like I guess there's some value in that. I don't know. I guess I'm just not here for. I'm not here for like the sad, teary parts. I guess is what it comes down to. So that's basically also, what this whole segment is.
Yeah, I think also as a viewer, maybe you're supposed to be trying to like pick apart things and find clues as to who their ex might be.
The only way to figure it out is to take what's given to you pretty much and just assume that it's false. So like the show is actively tricking you.
Yeah.
And the one trick you can do though is like if something seems like the host usually would interpret this situation to them being exes. But they're not cutting to the host for them to predict that they're exes. That is another way to like kind of get some clues.
Yeah.
But if they ever cut to the host or somebody in a confessional being like, these two seem like they know each other already, or like something like that, just like immediately cross it off the list as a possibility.
Yeah, exactly.
So far that has worked out for me.
Mm-hmm.
So are you with me? Like you're more likely to, or like you're less likely to like somebody if they cry a bunch during the ex introductions?
It depends on how they're crying. If we're like talking big sad sobs, that's probably like you got shit to deal with. But if you're able to get through it without crying at all, then I'm like, maybe you're an emotionalist monster. I don't know. We gotta find.
That's what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I want.
Hey, if that's what you want, then there you go. It's an indicator for you. I would like some light tears.
K1 is kind of gonna end up being an emotional monster.
Wait, really? Wait, what did I miss?
All right, we'll get to it.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
I mean, you want to do K1 right now? We can do K1 right now. Want to do K1 and then her ex right now? I don't care. She was the second to enter.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. All right. Yeah, I was getting her mixed up with Seokhyun, and then when
they roomed together, so that's like extra tricky.
Yeah, and then Daehyun started crying, and then she started looking like them, and yeah, so I might have some K1 and the other two girls mixed up here, so you'll have to also correct me. Thankfully, we have different mix-ups, so you can correct each other. Okay.
Or I'm not aware of my mix-ups, and they're even worse than I thought. You know, who knows?
They tried like the early sell of like Hye-won and Dongjin are exes. Because like when they're like alone early on, they like
Oh
are
yeah,
just
it's
they're just
very
both
awkward.
quiet, or they were just both awkward on the first night, and they love showing that stuff. But I wrote like, yeah, the hosts are selling this though, so it's wrong. And then her ex gets revealed very early on, Hye-won,
Yes.
and it's like from her perspective too, right? Hye-won is kind of being, I feel like, is like, if you had to say there was a main character, would you say it was Hye-won?
Of their relationship or of the show?
Actually, I'm not thinking of it. Was it actually revealed from Wee Hyung's perspective?
I think it was. No, it was Hui Hyun's perspective,
because
it
was his perspective.
He opened his box from his ex, and he was
yeah.
"Oh, my ex is just gonna get an empty box," and
Okay.
he was real sad about it. So it came from his perspective of like he was super poor, and they didn't exchange gifts ever, except this one time he gave her candy from a place he was working at.
Okay, so maybe the perspective of the reveal doesn't matter so much, but I feel like Hye-won's is like more of the main character in their relationship right now, or at least like because like she's the one that's like waffling, I guess is probably why it is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's either like to me, it's like either Hye-won or Hye are like the main characters right now on this show.
I feel like Dahae is gonna be main character. Yeah, actually, I'm a little worried she's gonna quit the show immediately.
I hope she does. Just get out.
Really?
I mean,
jeez.
We have I don't know.
Totally different opinions on the show.
I mean, for her sake, I hope she does. But
like, yeah. This was not a healthy choice
in terms of like agreeing to be on a show and then like quitting. I guess I hope she doesn't. But like I don't blame anybody for quitting the show. Honestly,
yeah.
I'm not gonna like I get really upset when people quit reality TV shows on the shows that I have bigger feelings about. But this one I totally get.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if she quit. I'll say that. I feel like
really okay. Well,
yeah.
We'll get there when we get there.
Okay. So yeah, her ex is revealed to be Wee Hyun.
Yes.
Early on in the show. I wasn't able to get this because I feel like there wasn't much. It was like it was at the end of episode 1 they did this. So we did. I don't even know. If
yeah,
we did,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even do like night 1 texting or it wasn't anything. But I was happy they revealed it because I want them all. I get like I think like both times they revealed somebody, they revealed it like at the end of the episode. I kind of liked that.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was like maybe reveal like one couple an episode and then maybe we're done after like 4 episodes. But
I think that it's every other episode so far.
It's every other.
Happened, so well, it was 1 and 3. It
was 1 and 3. Yeah. I wish it was a little faster than that, but I do think the X reveals is like a good moment in the show, so I can see why they want to like milk it a little longer.
And it's nice when they have like production's probably looking for something that happens to tie it into, like this empty box thing. They could tie it into to tell all his story.
I think production does it at the point where it like becomes more interesting to know that they're exes.
Yeah,
and like there was just something about Wee Hyun and Hye-won where like I don't know, it was more interesting to see
him watch her.
I don't know. I feel like
and
everybody. This is my other issue with the like the X introductions. Like it would be the information that you get from the X introductions would be way more interesting if I knew who everybody's exes were.
Yeah,
you know. Like it's not that it's not valuable content. It's just I don't know who the exes are. So if it's not really helping me know who the exes are, again, I'm not going to go back and rewatch it to like understand the maybe you just have to do that to enjoy the show. I don't know, but it just seems weird to me. Okay, sorry. What were we saying?
So they met in school basically.
Okay.
They were both like
college sweethearts. Yeah,
college sweethearts, but they were both like in acting programs, or they were acting and like they saw each other in plays before they talked or something.
Yeah.
And she's like a year or 2 older than him. And they dated for 4 months about a year ago.
Oh, they only dated for 4 months? I missed that.
Yeah.
I saw that it was a year and 2 months ago. Yeah, they can be over each other.
But like basically right around the time they got together, like financially things were not going well for him. Like he was trying to pay for school and just like had a bunch of jobs. And it ended up being where, as he describes it, like he felt bad that he couldn't give her more, or like give her more time, give her more things, you know, just all the like he was not feeling good about his position in life in this relationship, and broke up with her. But instead of like explaining all that shit to her, he just went, yeah, I don't think I know what love is. I don't feel anything for you. Goodbye. And did
Wait,
dumb
he
boy
broke
can't
up
talk
with
about
her?
He broke up with
Are
her.
we sure about that?
Yes, 100%. He broke up with her. He specifically lied to her about why he was breaking up with her because he just felt a lot of shame in his life. And and yeah, like now things are better for him. Like he got a bunch of scholarships that take, a lot of the pressure off and whatever. And like he now he's on the show because he's not sure if he has like a lot of lingering feelings or if he just wants to show that he's okay now. But yeah, when they showed their intro, like their meetup before the show started, and he like explained to her like, yeah, I never stopped loving you. I just lied to you so you would like accept this breakup. And she's just like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
I got that part, but I thought it was like a weird timing thing where like she broke up with him and then he like said all that stuff so that I guess that doesn't really make sense, but for some reason that seemed like it was like, I don't know.
See, now do you feel differently about her?
Oh, no, I don't care.
No?
I mean, I literally wrote in my notes as an oversimplification, she broke up with him because he's poor.
No, he broke up with her because he's poor and felt bad about it.
Okay. I mean, I don't really care either way. That doesn't bother me.
I mean, one is more of a dick move than the other, although his dick move of lying about it was not great.
Yeah, no, like his thing bothers me more, honestly. Like what? Like a girl was happy to be with you and then you were too self-conscious about yourself, so you broke up with, no, get out of here.
And now he's like, hey, maybe let's get back together. Yeah.
The other one is like, I don't think we can make this worth like logistically. Like somebody needs to make money. Okay. I don't want it. I don't know. At least the other reason's like a reason. His reason, if this is how it actually was, like it's not even a reason. I don't get it. Okay. No, this is not my issue with Ye.
Okay. What is your issue with Haewon?
I have so many notes on Haewon. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What else do we need to know about them? Yes, I did write down like he told her he didn't like her anymore. But he didn't like mean it. And now when they meet in the beginning before the show starts, he like tells her as such. So now she knows the truth.
Mm-hmm. And like he has also invited her onto the show.
He invited her on the show and she cut the ribbon and he did not.
Correct.
All right, we're good. I'm not upset about anything about the ribbons. That makes sense to me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Definitely getting Wanbin and Jisoo vibes though. Early on, that's what it felt like. Like she seemed pretty like because there was even a moment where she was like referenced something from their past and she was like, we're not doing this, we don't need to talk about our past. That is such a Jisoo thing.
Yeah, but also like if I was her, I would be like so bad at him right now. Like just like you lied to me about all this shit and now you're like, hey, let's go on this show and maybe get back together. Like, I would be absolutely so mad.
Fuck this guy, get over it. But that's not what's gonna happen, or at least, well, I don't know. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Yeah, Haewon is gonna flirt with Kwante on night one when everybody's in the group,
and Weekend's gonna
pretty publicly
see it a lot and be annoyed, or at least sad.
Yeah,
or at least make kind of a face at it.
I feel like he's doing
okay, but he is. I don't know. There's a lot of shots of him watching them, which again is, production, is editing or whatever, but they had a bunch of shots to pick from. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I wrote Haewon doesn't cry at all reading her her ex's introduction letter. Like maybe she teared up a little bit, but I thought she almost didn't. She read it like really quickly, which doesn't necessarily mean you're not having emotions. Like it could just be like, I'm reading this as
she wants to get through it. Yeah.
But most people can't read it without crying. But it was enough that she would have gotten my first night text. I was like, you don't seem like a messy person. I like that.
Okay.
She's gonna be messy in a different kind of way, but okay.
She does.
She seems over him. She really seems over him.
Okay.
For a while.
So you're just mad that she sort of maybe isn't over him entirely. Oh, that's your whole thing?
Let's continue. Well, I mean, that alone could bother me, but that's not just
Okay. Well, she gets a text. Yeah. He texts her night one.
He texts her. And she does not text him. He gets no text. Right. But then she starts feeling some kind of way when like because she's at the opposite as far as possible from Hui-hun and in the dinner situation.
Mm-hmm.
But Seok-hyun is like flirting, or looks like she's flirting with Hui-hun on like the other side of the table.
Yeah.
Now Seok-hyun doesn't text Hui-hyun. Hui-hyun gets no text.
Mm-hmm.
But Hye-won is already feeling some kind of way about seeing Hui-hyun getting some flirt action in front of her.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the vibe of Hye-won is turning quickly on the show.
Is it?
Well, it went from like, I'm cutting this string, I don't need this guy anymore, and then now it's like, what's going on? Why? I don't care about him, except, now that another girl's interested in him. What's going on there? So now we're getting a lot of like, confessionals of her talking about her ex after her saying she was done with her ex,
Okay.
And then on like, and this continues into day 2. Like she's still thinking about Hui-hyun and Seok-hyun. Like every time she sees them together. I'm just not a fan of the jealousy in general, I will say, on the show.
Okay. That's what this show is built on, but yeah, okay.
I get it. But I think it bothered me the most from like, I'm like coming on the show and being the person that feels like they should be over their ex. Maybe I just don't like the narrative twist. Maybe that's what bothers me. It's like they introduce me as like, here's a person that doesn't care about their ex, and I'm like, yes, let's go. and then of course there's a twist, and it doesn't end up being like that.
Like I mean, that could be her very valid experience. Like they haven't seen each other for a year or whatever, and she was dead set like, yeah, I've moved past this, and then you see him again, and then it changes.
But again, what I don't like is it's not that like she saw him when they did the pre-show interview, and it still seemed like she was out, but now she's only caring about it because some other girl is paying attention to him. That I don't like.
That might be true, but it could also be that like when they met up, he like confessed to her that he just lied to her, and she might have been like very pissed about that, and then like by the time the show starts, maybe she had some time to process that and is swinging back in the other direction. Or it might just be the jealousy thing. I don't know.
It's definitely a jealousy thing. It's not even jealousy. Is that jealousy? Is it jealousy if you don't want to get back with somebody, but you also don't want them to be with anybody else? Is that jealousy? Or what is that?
That's
spitefulness?
Spitefulness.
Yeah, I don't know. That's where I'm at with her. Like, I feel like she's just in spitefulness mode.
I don't know. I didn't like, she wasn't like, oh, I don't want him to be with her. She was like, maybe I would like him to be with me.
Those are just words. I don't believe that shit.
Okay, but it didn't. That's all I have to go on right
she's
now.
Justifying like okay, let's continue. The other thing that sucks about it is like literally nobody texted him. Like I know she doesn't know that. I know she doesn't know that. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's frustrating for me to watch. It's just like she didn't text him. He texted her. He got no text from anybody else, and now she's still feeling jealous. I don't know. There's like no reason to be jealous, and she's jealous. That's I guess what's annoying to me. And I don't even think she is jealous. I don't even think she is. I'll be honest. I don't think she wants to get back together with him.
I don't know. Like I feel like the jealousy angle or whatever didn't even register to me. Like I don't have notes. Like I have notes about
really
her
I feel like that was her whole story.
I have notes about her in confessional, like being like, oh, maybe I do want to be with him again, or softening to the idea of that. But I didn't write down that prompting it was her seeing.
Oh, it absolutely was like him and Seok-hyun talking multiple times that she was like reacting to. There's no way I got that wrong. If I did, I don't know. People can correct me, but I didn't notice it. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I was just focused on other things at the time.
And then there's going to be a segment, though we haven't seen any dates yet, but there's going to be like the date selection process, which is like things we've seen before where like the guys have a photo of some kind and then you have to choose the photos. But in this case, it's like the photo is like a memory or like a location of a previous date.
Or somewhere significant.
The guy's ex.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like the women know which one is their exes. At least they should, and some of them definitely do.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I can't tell if like they're not allowed to pick their exes, or you're just like, I do think it makes sense. Like, why would you go on the show and then your first date be with your ex? So I feel like maybe everybody's just actively not choosing their ex.
Mm-hmm.
But like they did like a draft order, and like there is a scenario where like you're just left with your exes as like if they
that's true. That's not what happened, but yeah, that's a possibility.
Do we know for sure? I didn't actually look to see for sure if that happened, but
no, because Yoo-jung was
or like the 4
one
people like not dating each other that we know about.
It was Yoo-jung got left with Hui-hyun's photo, and we know he was with Hui-hyun. So yeah,
you wanted Daehyun, Seokhyun, and like Seokhyun and like Kwante could be.
Yeah, but that would have been a choice because she didn't go last.
Oh, she didn't go last. But theoretically, you could choose your exes. I don't know. I can't tell if it's possible to have dated your ex on the first one. I'm not sure. In season 2, it seemed like it definitely was possible because you were like in season 2.
Yeah, it wasn't even a photo. It was like pick a point in the relationship.
Yeah, it was like totally
the breakup or the first meet. Yeah, so that was
yeah.
You there was no way to predict that.
I feel like it would really suck to date your ex as the first date of the show.
Depends on why you're on the show.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe if you invited your ex, but like at least one person on that date is gonna wish they weren't there.
Or they'll get swept up in the magic of the location where they broke up. I don't know. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, so Hyewon says in a confessional that she wants her date to be either Dongjin or Kwante.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen her really flirting with Dongjin, but I don't know. Those were the ones she told us about.
And she did end up with Dongjin's photo. So
okay, and then we have a chat room segment on this show, Sarah. And we all know how I feel about these chat room segments.
The women go to a chat room to chat with the ex of the man they're going to go on a date with tomorrow.
Yeah. I this is like especially the point of the show where I started having like season 2 PTSD about the show. Like it's just like I don't like these chat room segments.
This is like one of the least offensive ones of the random rooms we get. Like
again, like I didn't write anything down from this. Like if I'm on the show, why do I want to talk to like the person I'm going on a date with ex?
To get a vibe with how much they're still into them and if it's gonna be a big pain in the ass.
I guess, but like,
and actually there was one good, like, really good use of this, which is where Yoo-jung got the picture of, it was a bunch of stairs, and she was like, I have to go on a hike? What is going on? And she asked the ex, like, what is this place chill? Do I have to wear boots? So, that was useful.
But it's not worth doing a whole segment for that. But is this like a feature that you wish you had in real life? Like every time I go on get to know somebody new and go on a date with them, I wish I could talk to their ex first.
I mean, honestly, there are places on the internet where you can go and like be like, look up a guy and see if he's blacklisted by exes. Like that's a thing for women to try and be safe. Now that doesn't make sense in the context of the show, but like that's a thing that exists in the real world, which is not entirely unlike this.
I get that, but you're not like actually talking to their exes. You're just like, let me go look up this guy online and see if like there's some bad shit out there. Like I get that.
I mean, there's also like some things where you could like reach out and comment at them or like ask them like, wait, when did you date this guy? Because I dated him at this time, and I think maybe he was dating a bunch of people. Like there are ways to talk to women who have dated people.
That sounds like it could potentially be useful. You're not going to get that information from talking to their ex on this TV show. There's no way that's going to happen. So I don't know. These conversations, and again, this is the point of the show, I guess, but it's not what I want it to be. It's like, it's to like fuck up like the potential of people like not
getting together
with new people. It gets in the way of that. And also like, I do think that there is valuable information in terms of understanding the relationships of the exes in these conversations, except I don't know whose ex is with who, and I'm not going to go back and watch it later. So it just feels out of order. It feels so out of order to me. So I don't have anything from the chat room segment at all, pretty much.
Well, there was a bit where K1 was answering Yu Jung's questions, and Yu Jung asked if there was a chance she and her ex would get back together, and she typed yes, but then she deleted it and said, I think that's possible. So
yeah,
we get a little insight into how she's feeling about that.
Except in the confessional, she says, like, I wanted to write that because I didn't want, like, Yu Jung to feel like I wasn't into my ex. That's monster behavior. That is
Did she
monster
say that? I missed
that. That is... Now, she might also maybe be feeling something about wanting to get back together by your ex, but I think that's... Again, this is stuff I don't like. I don't. I'm pretty out on Haewon. Like, it really feels like, to me, like she's not that interested in her ex, then sees her ex with another girl. Like, maybe she's justifying it or thinks that, like, she wants to get, like, back together with him now. But, like, I feel like it's just jealousy, like, turning into spitefulness.
I think that all of this was fairly minor, and either the trauma from last season is bleeding over, or you're about to have a real bad time with how much worse everything's gonna get. I don't know. This seems like barely anything to me.
I guess I'm predicting where this is going based on things that happened last season, but a little bit. But it's the mentality is like, okay, I agreed to come on this show, and I think she says this when they meet up. Like, I agreed to come on this show because I want you to, like, find somebody else or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what people say a lot on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's a nice thing to say if you're a good person. But also, I'm going to kind of, like, get in the way of you, like, potentially having a good relationship with a girl, and, like,
okay,
I'm gonna be like, yeah, I definitely have feelings for him. I could see us getting back together, when, like, in reality, you probably don't. Just because, like, you don't want.
Literally, everyone said that there's a possibility of getting back together with their ex. So, like,
but she was the one that didn't seem like that, and especially the way I don't know. It didn't seem like she cared that much until she saw Seokhyun. And again, you felt like you didn't see that, and I feel like I definitely saw it. So if you didn't see that, you're not feeling the context that I'm seeing.
Yeah, but, like, the way in which she has gotten in the way or whatever is the most minor, mundane thing for this show.
She's lying. She's lying about.
I don't think that she's lying, though.
I think she is.
I think her mind is changing because she's actually, like, in a house with him for the first time in a year and is starting to feel some sort of way. Is some of that motivated by a weird little jealous thing when she sees him talk to other girls? Good chance, yes. Am I gonna fault her for that? Not if...
Absolutely.
No, because if I don't think that that's, like, the entirety of it. I think if he hadn't been, if he went forward and didn't have any success at all, like, I still think, like, just being around him might bring these feelings up again.
All right. There's more evidence to support what I'm saying than what you're saying. But okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty out on Haewon. Maybe I'm wrong. But
it's just so early to be pretty out on.
Hey, I've seen the show before. I know what happens on the show now. I know when to be out.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? She does have a big react. I felt like she had a big reaction to the voicemail thing that they do.
Basically, I think everybody did.
Everybody did. Oof. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a thing where after the X room, they're walking back and they walk past a phone booth. And, like, what do they get? A text message from production that's like, go to the phone booth, listen to a voicemail from your ex. So,
yeah, what is this phone booth that has voicemail? Like, are they calling a number that's like a voicemail box? Like, are they actually using the payphone, or is it just like?
Do payphones exist anymore? I think that it's just a production plant. I don't know.
Because, like, I guess they couldn't send the voicemail to their phones because then they could, like,
replay them,
and it would, like, I don't know. It was a little weird. It's like, go in this. This old phone booth.
It was totally like,
maybe it works. I don't know.
It's totally like, let's get them somewhere, make them feel emotional, and then they're totally free to break down as much as they want and cry because nobody's gonna see them from the house. They're just in the street. Like, the show loves people crying in the street.
It's just another thing they thought of to make people feel emotional about their ex.
Yeah.
What they're saying on the phone is like them leaving a voicemail for their ex, the guys. to tell them why they chose the location that they chose.
Yeah.
Which has to be some sort of memory or tied to their relationship.
Yeah.
So it's bound to strike some level of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. We know where I'm at with Haewon. Anything else from Haewon? I thought I was gonna like her. I thought she was gonna be the cool girl that I could.
You're just mad at her because
she's not. She's not what
has
I wanted
feelings.
her to be. The whole thing was just the worst case scenario. It was like, oh, give me what I want, take it away, and maybe monster behavior on top of that.
So your problem is all your expectations of her.
It was everything combined. Like, even if I do think it like softens it a little bit if like if she didn't cut the string in the beginning, I would be like,
I also want to know,
this is a consistent person that I can.
I also want to know when they did that.
They did it before.
Is that before the pre-interview meet? Is it after? Is it day one after they were in the house? Like, when is it?
That I'm changes sure. Things. Yeah, I think for Haewon's case, I don't think cutting the string would have been affected by the meeting based on what we saw. But yeah,
he did basically tell her that he never stopped loving her. Like, that is bound to have an effect.
I guess. I mean, like, her reaction in the moment didn't seem like she was reacting in a way like.
Some people are good at hiding emotions in the moment.
Yeah, like maybe she had an hour. Like, it's hard. Maybe she had some time before cutting the rope, and then it changed her mind.
Yeah,
but she still cut it. Oh no, you're saying she might have cut it before that meeting.
Yeah, like who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. What order did they show it? Oh,
well, they show it after everything, like as the epilogue of the episode. So
did they show the montage of them all meeting, and then we can't tell who is who before the string cut? Not that it really matters, but maybe they did it chronologically.
I think they did the string cut montage first, actually.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that is the better way to do it. Because I want to know like how they felt about the relationship like before they see each other.
Yeah, so then you have even less to hold against her for cutting the ribbon and now maybe wanting to explore being back with him.
I'm out.
I think you're being
and unlike
so
Haewon,
ridiculous.
And unlike Haewon, I will not be convinced otherwise.
Okay.
I'm cutting the string. I'm cutting Haewon's string. Never putting it back together.
Wow. Extreme reaction to barely anything.
This is how you play the game. You cut the string. This is the game. Cut the string. Can't put it back together. It's over.
Okay. All right.
That's how I'm going to play it this season.
I hope you find somebody new to enjoy on this show.
Hope you're ready for it, listeners.
What was that shit you said at the beginning where you were going to try to enjoy this?
Oh, yeah. But I mean, by the time episode 3 was done, that was out the window.
Oh.
That was just how I felt. That's how I felt before I started watching.
You know what? That's some real Haewon behavior, changing your mind like that.
I'm not changing my mind. I tried. I'm not going to.
Okay.
No, you actually just offended me by saying that. I'll be honest. Like, that's how.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Haewon's showing some Haewon behavior.
Haewon?
Wait, what did you say Haewon? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Haewon behavior. I thought you said
because all she did was,
and I was like,
no, not Haewon. No.
Okay.
Would never. No, just the mere fact of you both just changed your minds.
Oh,
that's all.
Okay. Well, I was trying to be optimistic, but I mean, I'm.
And she was trying to be strong and firm, and then she saw him and went, "Oh, it happens. Look how pink he is now. So much better."
Okay.
So let's talk about Hui-Hyun. Do we have anything to say about him? Hui-Hyun.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought he seemed like the youngest guy when we started.
Yeah, I would agree.
He knows nothing about cooking, except he has a million jobs, including working in kitchens. So I don't know what's going on with this guy. I'm very confused.
Oh, that's true. He does during the cooking time. I think this is where I might have mixed up people. I think it's Yoo-jung teaches him how to use a rice cooker, which is some very basic shit.
And he has a confessional saying I don't know how to do anything, but I'm ready to try.
Maybe he just was a dishwasher in all of the kitchens he worked in,
So. Yeah, he has a million jobs, has no money.
But he's better now. He's got scholarships now, so he's not struggling so much. He can have a reasonable amount of jobs.
Is he in school? Did he confirm that? I don't know.
Well, okay, it's only been a year since they broke up. And he did say he got some scholarships for, I mean, unless he graduated within the last year and he just had scholarships for his senior year, I'm going to assume he's still in school.
Okay. Oh, here you go. In my notes, I wrote, hosts throw out Seokhyun and Dahye as possible exes for Huihyun. And then I wrote, so it's probably Haewon or his ex is not in the house. And then actually, as soon as I wrote that down, they revealed his ex. And I was... Well, I must have eliminated, who was the other option would have been? I must have eliminated
Yoo-jung?
Yeah. I don't know why. I narrowed it down to Haewon, but
because Yoo-jung taught him how to make rice, and if they had been in a relationship,
maybe there was like some vibe
I don't know.
that they didn't date. I forget what it was though. Yeah,
their hands did touch a little bit when they were washing the rice together, so maybe that was it.
Wait, who taught it? Who showed him the rice? I legit don't know. You think it was Yoo-jung?
Was it not Yoo-jung? I don't know. It was Yoo-jung or it was Seokhyun.
I thought it was Seokhyun.
But like Seokhyun was on grocery duty. What's she doing in the kitchen?
Yeah, the grocery people didn't do shit.
But also,
I mean the cooking people didn't do shit. They didn't do shit.
Huihyun was also on grocery duty and yet was here just like, let me cook some rice.
Kwante.
Yeah. I don't know, man. One of the women taught him how to make rice. There was some light hand touching during the rice washing process.
No, I feel like it was Seokhyun because the whole story that you missed was Seokhyun and like there were moments with Seokhyun and Huihyun and then Haewon
they did get snacks together at the store and were like vibing there, I guess.
They were sitting across the table from each other at dinner, which is why, and then they were like saying things and Haewon was on the other side of the table and she was noticing it.
Okay.
And I did feel like Seokhyun was like flirting with Huihyun a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But she ends up not texting him. So I don't know if that means she texted her ex or what, but...
No, she texted the guy who knows how to cook instead of the guy who doesn't even know how to make rice.
Which could also be her ex.
I mean, I don't think so, but sure, okay.
I just don't... Yeah, that is the other factor. Like, okay. So like when I say like, oh, I would have texted Haewon, it's really more like if I had to choose somebody on night one, I would have been like, here's my selection and let her know that she got selected by somebody. But like I don't know what I would have texted her. So it could just be again like maybe Seokhyun could only think of an appropriate text that would have been like, thanks for the meal from to Kwante.
I was thinking of it from the perspective of like, well, here's the man who can feed himself. And here's the man who can't.
Oh, okay.
I enjoy the one who can feed himself more. Like that's my perspective.
But if you're like flirting with him or you like him, you just feel like, congrats on your first time making rice.
Oh yeah. That's an easy something.
But
she
didn't even do that. So I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. His ex is Haewon. He says he wants to go on a date with Yoo-jung. And I believe that is who he is going to be going on a date with.
Yes, he is pumped, and I don't think she is pumped at all.
Yeah, from her perspective, they have nothing in common.
Yeah, there's like a thing where it's like there's a QR code on the back of the picture they pick.
Yeah.
That gives them a picture of the guy. And the moment she saw it, she made such a face. She's just like, oh, this is not who okay, sure.
Yeah. But is it partially a read that like she feels like he's the young guy and maybe she's not here for that?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Again, a man who can't cook for himself versus one who can.
I mean,
I get it to a certain extent.
I get it. It's again, I kind of feel like Huihyun is in like the Wonbin spot on the show. But the story is a little different with his ex where we're getting a lot from his ex early on, making it seem like their relationship will be more of a main story on the show. Yeah. We'll see. I felt my early read was like, oh, Huihyun is not going to be having a good time on the show. But we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll work out for him or not, but he said ever since he dated Haewon, like his type is now Nuna's, like he's into older women exclusively.
Oh, really? Did he say that?
Yeah, well, maybe not exclusively, but he's like, yeah, I like older women now.
Well, everybody
she's
might
like
be
a year or two older than him, so yeah.
Do you think he's younger than everybody? Did any of the women seem super young? I feel like none of them seem super young.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, he seems like he might be the youngest.
Yeah.
All right, better like Nunes if you're the youngest. You almost like shouldn't be allowed on the show if you're the youngest, and if you're young and you like don't like Nunes, why are you here?
There's gonna be like a weird point when production interviews like, hey, how you feel about
Yeah, so you're young,
Lunas?
so like, what age do you like? And you're like, I like younger women. You're like, sorry.
We'll call you back in a couple years, I guess.
Unlikely, yeah. And that I think that's good. Production should be doing that. I don't want somebody on the show who just like isn't into anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on Hui Hyun? I don't have any issue with him. He just seems like the young guy that might have a bad time.
There is a nice like, I mean, as much as like I think it's shitty that he lied about why he was breaking up with her, there is this like redemption arc of like, oh, everything, I was struggling so much and now everything's going better, and that's a nice story that I could see production wanting to latch onto.
Now Jisoo broke up with Wonbin, but that also feels like a thing Wonbin might do. It's like break up with somebody because he feels like
not good enough.
He's not doing enough, even though he's like doing like Wonbin was like
carrying, the most.
So he was like literally doing all the work in the relationship. It felt like.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Where do we go from here? Who's next in order? Maybe we should save. Let's save Dongjin. Juwon. Wow, I have literally no notes for Juwon. I must have wrote his notes in other people's.
Yeah, I don't have a lot for him.
Sections.
He's on the first floor with Hugh Hyun.
Yeah.
He's on the cooking team and did not see him cooking at all, I don't think.
I feel like there's also a possibility that Juwon's ex is not in the house. Because, like, we're not getting anything from him.
Yeah, he is.
And he's not giving us
easygoing. Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have any. Is it possible, like, two guys? Like, there's multiple people.
It's possible. But, okay, so here is a thing. So there's a scene later where it's, like, the end of day 2, maybe? Or maybe it's day 1. Where, like, he's hanging out on the first floor with Seokhyun, and there's a bug, and he takes care of it for her. And then, like, she's trying to take a shower, but, like, the women are queued up, and she's last in line. And then she ends up going on the first floor. And, like, the door, she's not sure if it'll lock. And so she goes to him and asks him to check for her. And there's just, like, this level of, like, almost comfort already between them.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I could see them being exes. And I don't think we get any hosts commenting on this interaction between them.
Yeah, that's true. It seemed like too obvious that they should be exes. Almost, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think that maybe they might. That's who I ended up picking for him when I made my predictions at the end of this.
My read on that was like, so if you're Seokhyun though, and like, okay, you need to go talk to somebody because you need help with the shower. I feel like you, because of the pressure to like not reveal your ex, I just like feel like you wouldn't go to your ex for that.
Well, he was also like sleeping on the first floor, like, so he was most recently using the like, he was in proximity to that bathroom, so there's that like, it might just be that, but just like, I don't know, she just seemed real comfortable with him in a way that
okay,
maybe
yeah. I mean, I think Seokhyun could go either way. I just for some reason I'm just like leaning that Juwon doesn't have ex. You know what it is? It probably is what it could definitely be what you're saying, where if there is the multiple ex twist, Juwon and Kwante have the same ex who's not in the house, who wrote both their introduction letters. That's what you were saying, right?
Yeah, that could be it.
It could be that.
Yeah.
I could totally see
but
that.
Then we'd also have either one guy that was both exes of Seokhyun and Yujong, or 2 more guys that show up.
Yeah, it could be that.
Ooh, that would be great if they have the 2 guys show up before the ex who has 2 exes in the house show up. So everybody's just like, why are there 2 guys? What's going on? I like the chaos.
So it's like 6 guys and 4 girls.
5 girls, it would end up being, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying like they add the 2 guys before they add.
Oh, well, yeah. During that time, it would be 6 guys and 4 girls. Yeah.
Do we want to just boldly say that that's what's going on? I like that.
I like it. I don't think that's what's going on.
That kind of fits, though. Because that would mean that Seokhyun...
So you're saying we have 4 people in the house who are not here with their exes.
It would mean that Seokhyun and Yujong also don't have their ex in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Which I could kind of see. Did Seokhyun kind of act like her ex was in the house at some point? Maybe when we get to her.
I mean, she definitely like... Is it her that like locks herself in the bathroom and cries? Yeah, she's sad, but she's not like
But it's right after they read the thing, the letters.
It is right after
too.
the, yeah.
Well, it's after the letters, and then they immediately did the texting afterwards. So it's hard to tell if she's crying because she's like...
Well, she got 2 texts.
She got 2 texts, but she could still be crying about the letter. They don't really know.
Yeah, I think she is crying about the letter. I don't know. Hard to say.
The fact that Seokhyun got 2 texts was very weird to me, because I just feel like we didn't get a lot from her. And what was even crazier is that Hui-hyun was not one of the texts, right? So 2 people, like, my only connection with her was Hui-hyun, and he didn't even text her, and then she got 2 texts on top of that. So that almost makes me feel like her ex has to be in the house, and her ex is texting her.
Okay.
Just, like, statistically, it's more likely that that's the case. But because, like, I found it difficult to figure out who was texting her.
Yeah. Especially because the text happened before this, like, interaction we see with Ju-won.
Yeah.
Where, like, if they're not exes, like, the part where I would expect that they had connected more would have been after the texts.
Yeah. Is there anything else from Ju-won besides that shower thing with Seokhyun that was particularly interesting? Ju-won is gonna date who? Dahye. Have fun. Yeah. Have fun with that. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, Jaehae's a mess right now. We haven't gotten
I know, but like,
I'm not being unreasonable when I say.
Yeah, but like, also, like, I like her, and I'm just like,
I don't hate her either, but like, would I want to date her?
Like, you don't have to be mean about it. Like,
what? Would I want to date her right now? No.
It's just one date. He'll figure it out real quick and then move on.
Have fun with that. It's all right. All right, we were talking about Seokhyun. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Seokhyun. Okay. Yeah, I really thought she was the one crying in the fast forward, but it ends up being Daehyun.
Yeah, but she did lock herself in a bathroom to cry too. So there's crying to be had all over the place.
Yeah. Okay. I think she was flirting with Hui-hyun while cooking. I wrote while cooking.
While they were getting snacks.
I think she was the one with that helped him with the rice.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought.
Well, they did go they were on the grocery team together. She might also have cooked because that was the whole mess. But sure, maybe.
Oh yeah,
I'll believe it because
were they grocery buddies?
They were grocery buddies.
Oh, so maybe they just kind of like became friends, and then that's why they're kind of a little chattier than other people, maybe? And that's what Hyewon is seeing.
Maybe. Or maybe, there's the beginning of a vibe that wasn't strong enough for texts. I don't know. Yeah, it could turn into something. Maybe not.
I think they talk about like their ideal types. This is the thing they always do on the show. I didn't write a lot of them down. I think she says she likes a man with many talents, if you know what I'm saying.
But she also says, but not crafty. And I'm like, what does that mean?
But then my immediate thought was, I was like, Hui-hyun's got a lot of
jobs on jobs.
He must know a lot of stuff. I was like, this will be a thing.
But not how to make rice.
And then neither of them text each other.
Well, after that. She likes a man of many talents. Rice is not one of his talents.
Yeah.
So,
go with the guy who cooked. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
He chopped up so many different vegetables.
So we think Dahye did text her ex, and then the other 3 texted Kwante.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Okay, that's our best guess. Okay. Yeah, she has a big cry in the bathroom after the first night of texting, but it is kind of.
We do see her rereading her letter before they show her crying, so we're supposed to make that connection. Yeah.
I got a little too overthinky about it when I had to pause because I was like, she got to text, but like her ex didn't text her, so that's why she's sad. Like I was like, what's going on? But it's probably just the letter and not so much the text.
Yeah.
Who do we think texted Seokhyun? My vibe was that Dongjin was pretty sad sack on the first day.
Yeah.
But the couple times he smiled, I feel like it was with Seokhyun. So I had Dongjin as texting Seokhyun.
Well, we do see him the day after text, like he invites Yoo-jung out, and Yoo-jung did get a text.
Yeah. That's possible too.
The text was weird, and I don't know if it was him or not.
But then that means that Kwante texted Seokhyun, and we didn't we had a
Dahye
and Kwante thing. Yeah. We had a Hyewon and Kwante thing, and he seemed into both of them a little bit too. But I don't know.
But we know that neither of them got a text from him, right? Because Dahye gets no text. Hyewon gets a text that we are told is from her ex.
Yeah. So Kwante either texted Seokhyun or
Yoo-jung or yeah.
So I guess it could have been Seokhyun. It's just like not from the edit perspective. It's like out of nowhere to me, but I guess it's possible.
And it could have also been a text from her ex. We did not get any like shown like you have received a text from your ex. We only saw you have not been chosen by your ex. So I don't know.
It really seemed like Kwante. These texts were kind of harder to read than like figuring out who the exes were, honestly, because it was like it seemed like Kwante for sure was going to text Hyeyeon or Dahye, but yeah, you're right. He definitely doesn't. Okay. So you think so you think Kwante texted or who texted Yujong then?
I mean, I'm gonna assume it's Dongjin because he does.
The donut thing was just like kind of a timing thing, whereas like they were the only two in the house. So I don't know if that necessarily.
They showed a confessional where he was like, "I was looking for a chance to get like invited to something or something," right? Like, but that might have just been him talking. I don't know.
It could be all the new girls he wants to talk to, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. The only vibe I was getting with Dongjin was that he was a little bit happy with Seokhyun, but he was pretty sad guy on the first day.
Yeah. He was very sad.
Okay. I wrote down and then the thing with the shower. Or yeah, I had the same feeling. Like it seems like they're exes, but it's almost like too obvious that I feel like it's not.
Yeah, but the host didn't really say anything about it,
so the whole Taeyeon and not Taeyeon, the whole Yihyun and Tae from last season, that whole thing is just like scarred me. Where I can't trust anything anymore. So yeah, that's where I was. Yeah, who's your best? Like, so what's your best guess about Seokhyun's situation? Her ex is.
I think it's Juwon.
You think it's Juwon? Okay.
It's Juwon, or he's not in the house. Because
I guess so. I guess I'll just say he's not in the house. I guess I'll just say he's not in the house.
Okay.
Why not? Okay. I mean, she's just crying to the letter, right? She doesn't care about the text. She got 2 texts, and she still cared about the letter more than anything else, right? Her ex isn't in the house.
Okay.
All right. I like this. I just want somebody to have multiple exes. It would be okay. I might be in when that happens, because imagine you're on this show and the show's like it's like so troll that it's great. It's like you're on the show, you're getting all this like emotional stuff from your ex, and your ex isn't even there, but you still have to read these letters, right? And you still have to go to these chat rooms and these voicemail things. Well, maybe not some, and maybe the guys haven't yet, but whatever. You know, they're really making you feel all this stuff about you're like emotional. Meanwhile, oblivious to you, another guy on the show is having the exact same experience as you with the same woman that's not there yet. And then that woman shows up. Who knows what's going to happen?
I'm sorry. I thought you said you don't like the jealousy angle.
I don't know. I don't even know. I mean,
because that's 100% what this is going to breed. It's like jealous chaos is what would happen.
But who's jealous, though? The guys?
The guys, yeah.
But I mean, the girl, like, they got put on the show together with the girl. Like, that's not their fault. They literally dated the same person, and may or may not have been invited by the same person to be on the show. Like,
and then they get weird and jealous about it.
Yeah, I think it's justified to be jealous in that scenario. Well, you're more justified to be like, wow, this is fucked up. Fuck you. I don't like. But
just wait till she's not interested in either of them and dates a third guy, and see how like weird they get then.
Yeah. Okay. But that's like so complicated and crazy that like I feel like bigger emotions are
warranted,
or more like illogical emotions are more warranted in that scenario, because it's like a really kind of fucked up situation. I mean, this whole show is kind of a fucked up situation, but that's like so out there that it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh, I'm just gonna say it will.
I'd watch it if it did. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to see it. I mean, I haven't seen that before. If it's the same as last season, then it's like I feel like we've seen it before. So I'm still traumatized from last season. If that's the case, and it's gonna be the same. All right. All right. Anything else on Seokhyun?
She the picture she picked was Kwante's, so she's gonna go on a date with him in the next episode or whatever.
Okay. Kwante. Maybe they text each other. Who knows? That could be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we at? Who haven't we done?
Yujong is next, I think. Before we get to
that it? We have Yu Jung and then the main event.
And then the couple. Yeah.
All right, Yu Jung. The vibes. At some point, I'm actually kind of forgetting why I wrote this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was a moment in the kitchen where it was just her and Kwante.
Okay.
And I guess this is also maybe like a Yihyun Taehee awkward vibe, and then they're not actually exes, but like they were just kind of there, and then she had this like weird hesitation where she like turned around and realized like they were the only ones in the room.
Oh, okay.
And then like they were just like unpacking groceries or something, but she was like, she kind of like turned around after putting something away and was like, oh, it's just this guy in the room, and then she like, I don't know, it was like awkward. So the vibe that they was giving off was that like, oh, they might be exes, but again, like,
okay,
it could just be a trick because they put it in the show.
People be awkward
because it's either that or she likes him. So that's kind of why I thought maybe Yu Jung also. Oh yeah, Yu Jung. I think Yu Jung texted Kwante. Yeah,
I think so.
Because that seemed to be, I don't know.
And she was in the kitchen cooking.
There was at least
one of his texts referenced cooking, so like maybe she was that text.
At least there was some connection with her and Kwante in my mind, as opposed to Seokhyun, which it seemed like there was no connection. But if you think that Dahye texted her ex, and then Kwante must have gotten texts from the rest of them, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yu Jung was very excited to open her package.
And then got sad as soon as she did.
That was weird too, because like it feels like she was so excited. Then she was like about to open it, and Dongjin walked by her.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, that was kind of weird. And then she like, before she even opened it, I don't know if like maybe she just had this like weird realization about what was going to be in the box right before opening it. But she like, I feel like she got sad all of a sudden before she even looked at what was in the box.
Oh, did you?
Did you feel that way, or it was like after she opened it, like almost everybody opened the box and it was like, oh, this isn't a good present.
Yeah.
But
well, what I like people like Dongjin, like he never opened his and he knew like it was not going to be a good time, right? But I feel like the fact that she was excited makes me feel like her ex is not in the house. Like she did not have to pick out a thing to put in a box.
Oh, like she didn't know what was going on.
She didn't know the nature of what she was about to experience.
Okay. That's a clever read, Sarah. I like it.
But you think her face got weird before she opened it.
I feel like she got weird before she opened, but at the same time, like Dongjin like walked by, and then it was like supposed to be a secret. But then I feel like her face didn't like go back to happy when he left.
Well, she was like, "Oh, there goes that sad boy. He's so sad."
Oh yeah, like Dongjin's like so sad. She's like like ruining the mood for her.
Like quite possibly.
Okay, maybe that's what happened. I mean, I like the read that there's like 4 people in the house that don't have an ex, and then like at least one of them is like a multi-ex scenario.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually happening. I just think it's Yu Jung. It's Yu Jung and Kwante who don't have exes in the house. Is my guess.
Okay. So she goes on the donut date with Dongjin. So everybody goes to work, and then they're like the first 2 back in like the afternoon. Dongjin and Yu Jung, and then Dongjin, who said almost nothing in the first day. He knows that she doesn't like sweets, and he has said he doesn't like sweets, yet he's going to be like, hey, you want to go get some donuts?
And it turns out to be like a donut place he used to go with his ex all the time.
Yeah, so he must have been
like,
nearby.
It is a choice. Like, I don't understand it, but it's a choice he makes.
No, he just really likes the donuts there. I mean, if you like a place, you're going to go there with the person you're dating, like, and then you're gonna still want to go there. I mean, whatever.
But like, it's not like they just go there to get donuts and hang out. He's like, let's go get donuts for everybody. So let me bring back a box from the place I went with my ex to all the time to the house where my ex is currently living. Like,
did he say that? Like, we go there all the time and it's like one of our spots. I don't know if he said that. I think he just like was like, I've been there with my ex.
No, I think he's like, yeah, I went there a lot with my ex.
Okay.
Like in a confessional.
Okay. To me, it didn't seem like one of those things. I mean, maybe. I don't, but yeah, I guess it could be. Actually, once his ex is revealed, I guess it is possible that he knows what he's doing here. I don't know.
I don't even know that he knows what he's doing. Like I think he's just like trying to go on a date for the first time in 13 years and is like, let me go to this place that's comfortable. Like, I don't think he's actually doing a malicious thing. I think he's just doing a thing that maybe has implications he didn't think about and is like a weird choice to make given the circumstances.
I mean, I think he just liked the donuts there, you know?
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, so they have that whole date.
It seems to go well.
I think most of the girls, and Yujong included, like, didn't think much about Dongjin based on the first day, understandably, which maybe is an indicator that maybe it was only his ex that texted him. But she seemed to have enjoyed him enough, or at least thinks differently of him, because like Yujong and Dahye are they're roommates.
The roommates, yeah.
And then I this was one of the things that when I was like, now that they're showing this, like it definitely felt like a Haeyeon and Nayeon situation where it was
definitely.
Like it was like, okay, they love this shit when like
Yujong could not help but talk about how differently she sees Dongjin now after their little date. Like, and
like something about the confessionals between Yujong and Dongjin made it obvious that like they were not something about the way they were talking. It was like, okay, they're definitely not exes. Like they're like, you wouldn't be like, hey, do you like sweets, when it's like just you two alone and you've dated before. Like it's probably not. So you knew they weren't exes. And then when they get back and Yujong is talking to Dahye and she's going on and on about like different things that she noticed about Dongjin and is asking questions about Dongjin and like how old do you think he is? Like it's like they're talking about Dongjin. I was like, the show loves this shit. Like at this point I was like, oh yeah, Dahye's ex is Dongjin for sure. Like the show loves this shit. They love it so much.
Yep.
When the roommates are talking about your ex and you can't tell them that it's their ex, they love that to show that stuff.
Absolutely. The show was built for that.
They build it around these types of conversations. Dahye actually is like, I think Dongjin is the oldest guy here, and it's like she probably knows that that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing was that she did not seem interested in Hui-hyun she doesn't seem excited about Hui-hyun.
Yeah. She picked his card for the date.
Anything else from you, Jung?
Oh, I liked for her ideal type. She says she likes a pure nerd. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Just like an innocent, nerdy boy, I guess. And she's like a man who's not flirty.
Yeah, like, any of the guys in the house an innocent nerd?
I
right now.
I mean,
I wouldn't.
I don't know that I have that kind of data right now.
I mean, I would not peg anybody
to
be that. Like, maybe like Juwon, yeah. Maybe Juwon, and like their speculation about his occupation is just way off. But the other three guys, I feel like they don't give off that vibe at all. Yeah. I think you're right. She does seem like a good candidate for her ex is not in the house. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for her.
All right. Oh, did we explain the package thing with Hui-hyun and Jae-won? Did you explain that? With the candies and the nothing.
Oh yeah, she gave him candies because the only gift he ever gave her was like a pack of these candies from the place he worked at once. So he must have like gotten it for free. Like he gave it to her as a gift during their relationship. And so she went and got a new pack of it to put in this box to send back to him. But she never gave him any gifts during their relationship because like she knew he couldn't afford anything and didn't want to like make it weird or whatever. So he just sent her an empty box. Like he didn't put anything in it. And
he didn't
have anything from their relationship. Just like
he also doesn't want to give anything to her, I guess is the sentiment, right?
No, like he was sad about the fact that he took this empty box as a like failing of his own because during their relationship he was not in a place where they could give each other things.
Oh,
so this feels bad for him that he had to send her an empty box.
That logic's a little weird because I feel like a lot of these gifts tended to be like, here is a thing that I still own that means something to our relationship, and I'm going to give it back to you.
I think in most cases it was, here's a thing from our relationship that you gave to me, and that is still at my house.
Yeah, that I still have, and it's like, well, some of it was like, yeah, you gave to me, or
some of it was I gave to you and you kept it at my house.
Yeah.
But most of them were like, here is a thing that you gave to me.
Okay, but Haewon, so like he gave her candies, because he used to work. One of his jobs was like working at
He worked at the candy place.
a handmade candy place, right?
Uh-huh.
And then he got her the candies from that place, or I don't know if he actually made those candies. Probably not. He probably just bought them from that place. And then like she said she ate some of it but didn't finish it.
She ate one a day to savor it because she knew she was never getting another gift from him because he was broke. And then when they broke up, she stopped eating it and they got all hard and shriveled and she was sad. So she bought a new pack of the candies to send to him.
She should have sent him the hardened candy. Right?
Okay. That would have been a little weird. I don't know.
So like I feel like though if like it was like here's a memory. Because okay, the context of these packages was that they're like breakup packages, right? That was
it's like you left this shit at my house, take it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if you're buying a new thing to give to them, like it's not actually an item that like
she was given an assignment to find a thing to put in a box and she did it. He was given that assignment and went, I don't got shit, so she doesn't got shit. Like he just approached this differently.
But I feel like if hey, we have this memory of me giving you candies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we break up and then you send me a box of those candies. I feel like I would be like, oh, this is a good sign. Like she remembers the candies. Like, because it's like it's like she's sending me the candies, like a new thing of the candies to like spark my memory of the candies. Because it's not physically the candies that I gave to her, which is more like, oh, why are you giving this back to me? This is like the gift I gave you. Like, but she's giving him almost a gift of candies.
But that is not how he sees it at all. He like reads it as this is the only thing I was able to ever afford to give to her. Look how I failed. Like he's still feeling bad about that and like inadequate.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what was in that box, he was just going to be like, man, do I suck.
I just think he could have at least like sent her some photos of a good time they had or something like in her box so it didn't have to be empty.
Yeah, somebody did photos. Well, it was a photos of their cat.
But it was of the cat that he can't have anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a weird thing to do. But again, it was just another like, let's spark more emotions specifically between the exes and nobody else. Okay. Sorry. I thought that was like a little interesting to talk about. All right. The main event. We have Dongjin and Dahae. Dahae seems like the main character. So Dahae, well, I mean, quick synopsis of Dahae is that she is Heian. Okay.
No, she's not.
I mean,
no,
so far
she is. So far, she is just sad about a breakup that has happened recently. She has not sent any weird, menacing text. She's not being creepy. She's not being spiteful.
Okay, we haven't simply a
sad person. She is just sad. That's
Heian
all.
Was just a sad person in the beginning too.
No. She sent creepy ass texts from the beginning. The moment she could text that man, she's like, "I'm waiting for you." This is not that.
Yeah, I mean, Heian also wasn't on the show from the beginning, so that's a different situation too. But
yeah, but like 100% day one, if she had been on the show, that's what would have happened. You know it in your soul. That's what would have happened.
Actually, I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, that again, Heian was super confusing to me. I still don't understand. Like, I wish they had the ribbon cutting thing last season with Heian because, like, the whole story, the whole season was like Guman doesn't care about her, but she cares about Guman, and then it was like the exact opposite in the pregame confessionals. So I don't know what would have happened if they were on this, like they were both on from the beginning. But yeah.
Either way,
are we doing Dahae
categorically first? Unfair to call Dahae a Heian right now. I know she cries a lot, but it is not the same.
She's early Heian vibes. I'm not gonna. Obviously, she's not the exact same person. I would not. It really means something if you're gonna call somebody a full blown Heian. That's. I would have to be really.
I'm just not. I am not prepared to allude to it at all because right now I like this woman. So let's not even go there yet.
Oh, you like her? Okay. I mean, I actually don't have a problem with her. I just said, I mean, she's crying a lot. I'm
okay.
So like in terms of dating her, I would be totally out. But yeah, I wouldn't say I dislike her or anything.
Okay.
Or do you want to do Dahae, or I guess we're gonna talk about both of them, but
Yeah.
Let's just do Dahe. Whatever. Let's go.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. She early on. I actually thought what's crazy is like I actually thought she had it together pretty well. Like she had a couple moments where she was like sighing. So she looked like a little stressed, but I like couldn't really tell. Was she like sighing because her ex wasn't there, or it was kind of hard to tell? But I felt like she was doing pretty good of hiding.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking, okay, like maybe her ex isn't here. But then that ended up by day two. By day two, you were like, okay,
yeah,
something's up here.
But like she's out on the grocery shopping trip with Quante she teams up with, and like it seems like they're getting along pretty well, and that was nice. And
I think Dahe was the one shopping with Quante. Actually, that's what I have in my notes. But again, who knows? Yeah. Okay.
She wasn't supposed to be cooking. The whole thing was I can't keep track.
I literally think all the grocery people cooked. No, the other people didn't do shit.
Dongjin showed up and helped flip an egg.
Okay.
I know that.
Oh yeah. That was with Seokhyun, and he like smiled a little bit at her.
Oh, was that with Seokhyun? Okay.
I think so. Unless I'm just
I
could just be all kinds of fucked up with
I thought it was Yoo-jung.
You thought it was Yoo-jung.
I think this is why I got them mixed up, because the wrong people were in the kitchen.
They all changed outfits. Like
yeah, they all changed outfits, and then the people who were in the kitchen were not the people who were supposed to be cooking.
But the girl with like a baggy sweatshirt and like a ponytail, wasn't that Seokhyun? Or is that the one you've been thinking is?
I no longer remember what any of them were wearing at the time.
Okay. Dahe doesn't answer the ideal type question, which I kind of liked that. I was vibing with Dahe until she read her introduction letter, and then I was all the way out.
Yeah, she even says she's hoping to figure out her ideal type on the show. And it's like, yeah, she doesn't know because she's been dating the same man for 13
that makes sense.
years.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. That answer.
They broke up 4 months ago. Being on the show is the least healthy decision either of them has ever made. Yeah, like that is too soon.
Suspicious. Yeah.
It is ridiculous. What do you mean suspicious?
I don't know. So, do you want to get right to them being a couple? Just talk about that.
Well, anything like else they did that we need to talk about?
Yeah, I have so many notes on Dahe.
Okay. Then let's do it.
Yeah, okay. We kind of already talked about some of this stuff, though. But yeah, she's just mad struggling. So on day 2, we already know she cried during the ex introductions.
Yeah.
On day 2, she was the third person to get home, but Dongjin and Yoo-jung had already left to get donuts. Yeah. She was the only one in the house. She's by herself. She's crying by herself.
She's in like that.
If that's not
second
behavior, what is? Okay.
Multiple people have already cried by themselves in a room on the show so far. Okay.
They're
multiple people.
I guess it's the way the show is showing it. It's reminding me of Haeyeon, I guess. Like everybody cried last season too, but the way that they're showing her crying is the Haeyeon storyline, at least.
They do have a confessional with Yoo-jung where she's just like, my roommate cries all the time.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yeah, kind of like Haeyeon's roommate last season.
Yeah, so she's just like crying in the like common room on the second floor, hears people come in, runs to the secret crying room to get her shit together, and then goes out to meet who has just come in. At which point she is faced with Dongjin and Yoo-jung coming back from a date to the donut place where she used to go with Dongjin.
Yeah.
And she is chill for about 2 minutes and then runs away to the crying room to sob.
Yeah, the fact that she's crying alone in the house, just like, I don't know, there's something about it. I was just like, okay, her ex has to be here. And then the fact that we got this scene, again, it's like they love to show this stuff when like a person, because again, it's like, yeah, it is kind of like the whole point of the show is like she's seeing her ex with somebody and then she's going to cry by herself afterwards. And the show loves to show this stuff because it's kind of like the content they're trying to create. And also the hosts say nothing about this. We do not cut to the host at all for them to suggest that like, oh, I think her ex is Dongjin and that's why she's having such a big like host 100% the host said that and they just didn't put it in the edit.
Yeah. There is a part where like when they're about to reveal who her ex is and all the hosts are making guesses and somebody's like, but she did cry about that donut thing, like referencing something they had talked about but wasn't in the edit of the show.
Oh, really? I missed that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then it was Dahe crying the flash forward. This is the flash forward we got in episode 1 or whatever.
Christening in the crying room. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this, I think this was the kind of the point I wasn't able to figure out from like the texting of the first night, but this is the point where I was like, okay, her ex is Dongjin. Like everything combined with a bunch of other, if you just assume everything's a lie or misinformation. It pretty much narrowed it down to Dongjin at that point. And then she also is gonna like talk to Kwante as he's cleaning, and
no, they're cleaning together. Those are the rules.
Well, he's cleaning and she's following him around.
Yeah.
And then they are definitely not exes the way they're talking to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like she's been opening up to Kwante, basically, because she's struggling.
Which makes sense, because it's so recent that they broke up.
This is where it gets interesting, though. Like, she gets to choose first for the dates. And she says to us that she knows for sure which one is Dongjin's.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't pick it.
Yeah.
Which I guess is like, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does seem a little odd. I almost feel like you shouldn't be allowed to date your ex on the first date on the show. I don't know. I guess she was allowed to, and she just didn't.
Yeah, we don't get any like rules that they're not allowed to.
She's gonna get Ju-won, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then she's gonna cry in the streets from the voicemail. So yeah, crying on crying, just like Han. Okay.
Just like many other people on this show have also cried in the street after they listened to the voicemail and have locked themselves in a bathroom and cried.
Yeah, it's not about
too early.
Each individual cry is not like Heian behavior. It's just the amount that they're showing is like the Heian edit.
The difference being here, like, I don't think she's a monster yet, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, I don't think she's a monster yet. Yeah, that's just early Heian vibes. Yeah. All right, let's talk about Dongjin before we get to the couple reveal stuff.
So I refer to him as our resident sad boy because, like, immediately, like, when they're trying to divide up rooms, he's like, okay, let me go just look at the room and see. And he goes and he just sits in the one room alone and cries for a second. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, like, from jump, he is not having a good time.
Yeah, he also, I don't know if he planned to go cry when he was, like, checking out the rooms, but as he was going to check out the rooms, he walked by Dahae and Yunjung, like coming out of their room. So to me, it felt like he was reacting to like looking at one of them.
Yeah.
And he actually he admits to us in the confessional like he's already he's already feeling a way about seeing his ex with other guys. I guess I just like the self-awareness to say it like the way Dongjin did. Like, it doesn't bother me so much that Dongjin is feeling a way about seeing his ex with somebody else. And we're going to find out he's also the one that cut the thing. But Dongjin's not really bothering me. It's like Hyeyo giving us this, like, I don't fully know where she's at in her head because I feel like she's just not telling us exactly what she's feeling. Or maybe she doesn't know exactly how she's feeling. And that's why she can't say it. I'm not sure, but.
Whereas Dongjin has the self-awareness to be like, I am feeling this way because of this.
Yeah, I am feeling this way. But then also Dongjin is, I mean, he's gonna like seem like he's gonna put forth an effort to not get back with his ex, which at least that is more of his storyline so far. Kyewan is like the other way, where her feelings about seeing her ex with somebody the story is like going towards her wanting to be more involved with her ex now on the show.
Yeah.
In some capacity. Be good or bad, I don't know. Yeah, I thought Dongjin was happy cooking with Seokhyun.
Yeah.
The host really think that Hyeon was his ex, so that was not the case. They were really selling that.
They were just a little awkward.
It's because they were just like both awkward on the first day, and then when they were alone together, it was awkward. So they're like, oh, maybe they're exes, and then they showed it, and I was like, okay, so they're not. Okay. Oh, Dongjin does not open his package. That actually threw me off. I was like, in what situation? Because I think that's like kind of crazy.
Well, he's like, I already know what's in with it, what's in it, and I like, he acknowledges he is not in the emotional space to open it right now. He's protecting his feelings. Give him credit for that.
I guess it does make sense, kind of, if like you're the person that cut the string.
I think if you're the person who's like trying not to have a breakdown right now, it makes sense to be like, I know what the show is doing. It's trying to make me feel feelings about my ex.
I'm
gonna put it down and just like No.
He's too smart for this show.
He has the emotional intelligence to understand where he's feeling right now. Actually,
I love that.
Protect himself.
Fuck you, TV show. I'm not opening your package. I love it. Okay.
He even like drapes clothes over it to just like hide it. Like he
puts it in an incinerator. Whoops.
Regardless.
Yeah, but he was very
emotionally intelligent behavior. I enjoy him.
Yeah, like he's having emotions, but he can tell us why he's having the emotions. And then it's not, I mean, maybe he just didn't have a chance to, but like he's not doing anything that, I don't know. It seems like a healthy amount of jealousy, I guess I'll say. I don't know.
Okay.
I like Dongjin so far. And I don't I don't like K1, and they're kind of in the same situation, so I don't know. Yeah, he actually lets everybody know he didn't open the package though, which is like a little bit like just so, like he does it like when everybody's there at the table. Now he was asked about it, like, did you open your package? So it's like, are you gonna lie?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was like, just so everybody knows, I didn't open my package, like wanting his ex to know he didn't open it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think it was that bad, but Dongjin tells us that he thinks Yoojung and Juwon are exes. So I think that can't be true now.
Yes.
Okay. Then that makes it so Juwon has to be Seokhyun or nobody's in the house or nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have the feeling I guess I just have the feeling that Juwon's ex is not in the house. That for some reason that just feels right based on.
Okay. Does it feel more right than Kwon-tae not having an ex in the house?
Yeah, it almost does. But only based on like the misinformation that the show's giving us, that I'm assuming is misinformation.
Okay.
Or it's both. I don't know. Okay. We'll find out when we watch further.
I just like get real like chill like Tae vibes from Juwon. So I'm like, even though his ex is around, he like is not bothering him. He's just like, whatever.
That's possible. Yeah. It's that combined with more of the like the misinformation stuff that just makes it feels like they're setting it up more like Juwon's ex is in the house, and then it's gonna end up that it's not. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah. And then the whole donut thing with Dongjin. Seems way more social on day 2. Like he was really into like the photo, like selecting the photos. Like the guy, at first I was like, wait, do the guys know what photos were selected? Like it almost acted like they like also didn't know whose photo was who.
I think what happened is that they submitted a photo and then production cropped them in a weird way. And so they were like, oh, it's just a photo of some stairs. Okay.
Yeah, I almost thought like they told production like the date location, and then like production just like got an image of that location, so the guys like were also confused.
Well, we did see like we saw Huihyun's photo like zoomed out then, because it was a picture of him and Haeun together.
I missed that. Okay, there you go.
So it was just like a corner of the photo that they zoomed in on, and I think that's just what they did for everybody, and it threw them for like they had to submit a picture of the memory they were using as their date location.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We ready for the main event of the end of episode 3?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Explain to me what should I be crying about here, Sarah?
An amazing love story is what you should be crying about. Okay.
Amazing, but they're broken up. Like, why they don't tell us why they broke up? But
the story is not over yet. Okay. So they were young little babies, like high school aged. They met at a music academy because they both wanted to be idols. They start secretly dating. They're at the same agency. They're not allowed to date. The agency finds out, individually talks to each of them going, one of you's got to go. We can't have this. Both of them go, I will sacrifice my spot at this agency, which is hard to get into. It's like basically going, I'm giving up on this career. I will give up on it for my other person who I love. And then the agency drops them both because agencies are dicks.
Yeah. It seemed like he only had the one agency, and then like she kind of knew she was in with other agencies.
No. It's just she was able to get in with another agency later. Like if you're signed up for an agency, you don't have like other ones waiting in the wing. You have to go out and do that work. Like their contracts are like you can't.
You don't have a contract, but yeah,
No. Like I'm serious, James. Like this is a big deal.
Okay.
So they both get kicked out. Immediately. Just they were both willing to give up their dreams for their love. Like it was so cute. She was able to get on another agency, was eventually able to debut. She is carrying this guilt with her the whole time because he's never really able to get his dream jump started again. He can't find another agency. At some point, like she starts being recognized in public, so they don't have to just keep it a secret from, like their agency like before. They have to like legit be a secret entirely. Shut this thing down. But she still makes time to go out and meet with him no matter how little sleep she has, like 3 times a week they hang out. And then at some point he goes off to the military because like it's just like the idol thing's not happening for him. And they stay together, but it's hard and like it's so cute and beautiful. And then like eventually like they're together for 13 years. They show so many pictures of all of their like anniversary things and like important moments. None of this hit you at all? Like, oh my god, look at these people? None of it?
The only real emotion I had was just like anger over the idol system and like the whole like you're not marketable as a human being if you're not single.
Yeah, that is some real bullshit. I agree. Absolutely.
Like in the US, it's like Taylor Swift being in relationships is like the biggest story in the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Like why can't you be marketed as a person in a relationship? Like that was like the really only emotion I was having. Everything else is just like this is normal. Like it's like you started dating in high school. Now, did you catch like they broken up like 2 other times?
Yeah, but like if you look at the date range, it's like so short before they got back together again.
It's basically like the length of how long they've been broken up before coming on the show. So like I don't know, like. Maybe it's
but
just
then like even when he gets back from the military, like he starts like working as her manager because like after like she left Bestie, like she's trying to do a solo thing and like doesn't have that whole support of it. I don't know if she signed up with another agency or not, but it seems like she's maybe having more trouble and he's like still supporting her dream and then eventually he had to like get a real job. But
yeah, I thought Dongjin like seemed good based on the explanation of their relationship. Like it made me like him, but I don't know, like the fact that they aren't together anymore like didn't make me sad. It was because like but we're not getting the full story yet. Like we don't actually know why totally they broke up, like also and we kind of don't get the full story sometimes.
The gist we sort of got was that like he started focusing on his own career. We don't know what it is yet. And then like they weren't spending much time together then because like he was really busy focusing on work, and then like in a moment seemed like he snapped about like, I've been supporting you this whole time and now I'm trying to focus on my own thing and this is a problem, and then they broke up.
Yeah. It's like the dynamic of their relationship totally changed and it didn't work anymore. And
it's sad.
I guess. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work though. Like I don't know. I guess I just
but that's even worse. Like when it doesn't work and you have to break up, but that doesn't like kill the feelings you have for the person. Like that's even worse. Like if they're both still absolutely fully in love, but no, they can't be together. Like
I don't think it's like that. I think it's like
that's so sad.
I think it's like, hey, our dynamics, our relationship changed, and then that made us behave differently to each other, and like it seems like Dongjin's feelings for her went away at this
I don't think that's...
Now he's reacting to her being in the house and seeing her, of course, but Dongjin cuts the string, right?
Yeah, but like there are lots of reasons to cut the string. It might just be like, I recognize that this is not good for us anymore, but that does not mean I'm not bummed about it or that I don't still have all these feelings about her. Like,
yeah. It's possible.
The way I cried solid for 20 minutes about this.
That's like, crazy. I mean, the hosts were crying, so I mean, like,
Oh, the hosts, like, extra hard, like, they can relate to all this shit because they're in the industry. They all had secret relationships that they had to kill off at some point. Like,
the hosts also cried about Hidu and Nayeon last season, so...
No, this cry was way more intense than anything they did before.
I don't know about that. They had...
The second guy host destroyed during this segment. Absolutely.
Okay. If you say so. I mean, they were, but I'm just saying they've cried this hard before.
No, this one hit them hard.
It hit
they
you
can
hard,
relate to
I
it.
think, is what it did, but okay.
No. Also, they can relate to it. It hit them hard.
They can relate to it because they're like, yeah, the idol industry is fucked up with this shit, or like they didn't also have 13-year relationships while
not 13-year relationships, but one of them was like
relationships while they were idols also.
Yeah, the guy hosts were talking about it. Like they had like 6 and 7 year long relationships that they had to hide.
Okay. I guess I get that. If it's like, yeah, I don't know. I kind of get. I guess I get the crying about like the hiding of the relationship, especially for Dongjin. I think like that. I can see how that would be really tough. As like being the person in the shadows, but like.
And just
they broke up. They broke up. It's okay.
So sad.
Like they're like. I don't know. It's just very normal to me that you date somebody starting in high school and then you grow up, change as a person because nobody's like fully cooked as a person. And, it doesn't work out and that's okay.
That is all true. That doesn't mean it's also not sad. Doesn't mean it's also not going to make me cry.
I understand. Like, I'm not upset that like they're crying, but it's not enough to make me cry. Like, it's not my situation.
I feel like also you have a much higher threshold for that than I do, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I cry over.
I just don't. I also.
But I cried real hard over.
Okay,
it.
I think I like Dongjin so far,
and
I don't dislike Dahae. She's just crying a lot, but it's hard to not draw comparisons, at least in like the timeline of their dating, to like Hidu and Nayeon.
Why? Why must you? No,
like they're because they also like broke up a bunch of times and got back together, and
okay, they broke up way more times.
Maybe like one.
Okay, one more time.
Maybe like one more time. We're not so far not nearly the same dynamic.
Oh, not even close. I mean, there's been no emotional abuse so far.
Yeah, I mean, other than she kind of like suggested that like he started talking not nice to me when he started working more or something, but it also could be like she didn't support him the way he supported her, so he like resented her for that. And there's a bunch of reasons, and then they break up, and I don't know. I'm just like, to me, if I guess from my perspective, like, would it hurt to be in a long relationship and break up? Yes, but also like if somebody doesn't want to be with me, I can accept that. I don't know. I wouldn't want somebody to be with me if they didn't want to be with me. So I
don't think anybody in this situation is trying to like be with someone who doesn't want to be with them. Like,
well, it feels like Dongjin's trying to move on, and she's very much has not.
Yeah, I think like just given like he cuts the ribbon, she does not cut the ribbon. Baseline, we're at different places, but she is picking other people's cards for the date. Like she could have forced a date there. She didn't. She maybe texted him probably. But that's like that's it. That we haven't gotten anything like awkward and like her like really trying to force this or anything.
Oh no, I'm not saying that it has happened. I don't know. I'm not ready to be like, I don't know. I'm not ready to.
I'm going to be optimistic until one of them ruin it.
I don't. In general, it's like, okay, you broke up for a reason. Also, it's like a little sus that like they're both like former idols or entertainment people, and then they were in a 13-year relationship, broke up like 3 months ago, and now they're on a TV show. And then they both this is really weird. Like people talk like say things like before, like I came on the show or whatever. That's like the phrase they use. The subtitles for both of them when they talked about it specifically said, like I may have made a mistake starring on this show. Like as
that
if
might
like,
just I don't know. That might just
they
be a
both
weird...
used that phrasing as if like this was some sort of career stunt.
That could just be a translation thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but I've only ever seen it for these two.
Okay, but you want to hear you want to hear my swing on this?
Okay,
I got a cute as fuck swing on this, which is she's like, look, in this way, our relationship is becoming public. I'm sorry for all those years I made you hide it. We could get back together again. And also, maybe this show will jumpstart something for you. Like, she's trying to turn it around and make shit work. But where they could be an open, like, honest about the relationship.
like if they broke up when she was still an idol, and then she was not an idol, and then this was like her way of doing it. But like they broke up when she wasn't an idol, right? So they
yeah, but
were
they
no longer
still were secret
they still were secret. Okay,
because she's still
what
like
happened
kind
the
of
last
a
3
singer.
months that changed the?
She was desperately upset without him and could not see the rest of her life without him.
So she's thrown her singing career away by being on the show. Is that a thing?
No, I think she's leveraging this show to make it okay that she's in a relationship.
Oh, is it a like a social stunt to like get out the awful
Maybe
of the idol? I
Solid
like it. I kind of like it
maybe.
from that perspective. It's like this is like exposing the idol. How
I don't
how
think
bad it
no,
makes
I don't
people
think
feel. No, I
she's-
think
she-
people
I
know
don't think
about it and
she's-
they don't give a shit. About
Yeah,
it.
that's the truth. Yeah, I don't think she's trying to do an expose here. I think she's trying to just like desperately make something work with this man she's in love with and can't be without, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I believe that her feelings are real. Like, I think she still likes him. She invited him to be on the show, but it's just really weird that they're in a 13-year
is,
relationship.
yeah.
And yeah, you know what? The first thing you do after breaking up after a 13-year relationship is, I wonder if there's any TV shows we can get on so we can see each other more. Like, it's
Yeah, it is.
It
like,
kind of makes sense. Like maybe
super
she might
unhealthy.
have ties to the industry, and it was probably pretty easy for her to get on this TV show, if I had to guess.
Yeah. She just should have maybe waited until next season because like she is not emotionally healthy enough for this right now. Like it's 4 months after they broke up. There's no way like she's
What
gonna
is
be
he gonna
okay
do in a year? Like he could be even more over her in a year.
I mean, that's true, but I don't think he's super over her right now, but I don't think this is like even the way she's talking about it, where she's like, I don't think I should have come on this show. She's realizing that she did not make a healthy choice for herself, you know? She's
yeah,
just
also
gonna feel bad the whole
she didn't
time.
get any text on the first day. It's not going well. It's probably gonna
It
it's a bad
barely
sign.
had a chance to not go well. It was 1 day's worth of text to whatever.
Could not have gone any worse. Like it.
No, that's not true. She's got somebody who's like, let's go on a running date or whatever. And
I guess, but they didn't text.
it's
her.
not that bad.
They didn't text her, and her ex is like.
It was 1 day.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
one
it's as
freaking
bad
day.
as it gets. I mean, like I don't know.
No,
how it
it's
could be worse.
not.
If you invite your ex to be on the show, for her situation, I think it's pretty much as bad as it gets. I mean, like maybe every girl would be into her ex. Like that's like maybe the worst scenario. I don't know, but
Yeah, like if her ex was like getting all of the texts and like having a super fine time, but no, like I don't think her reaction of not having a great time right now is in relation to her status on the show. It's 100% because she is not ready to be in this situation, given that they were together for so long and broke up so recently.
okay, well, she signed up for it.
Yeah, and it was a mistake, and I think
she's gonna
like,
tough it out. I think there's
a chance she's gonna leave because this is a real rough time for her.
I don't think she will. I think there's incentive to stay. I hope she toughs it out. I hope she gets over him.
Hope they get back together again. That's what I want.
I'm not at rooting for anybody to get back together yet. I'm not there yet.
No, I want these two to be happy and have a like relationship out in public where they can just be fine.
Something's not working if they broke up. So
yeah, it was the fact that it was a secret relationship, maybe, and maybe it'll be better now that it doesn't have to be a secret.
But you think it was a secret 3 months ago, and it's just not now because they brought on the show.
Yes,
I guess. Is it? I feel like it's too little, too late, though, right? I don't know.
I don't think so. It's only been 4 months.
Like you were only willing to make our relationship public after I broke up with you. It's a little too late, right? No.
I mean, that depends entirely on Dongjin and how he feels about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's possible.
Yeah, but how would you feel about it if you were Dongjin?
I would probably. Well, I wouldn't be on this fucking show because I know
like
it would
you
be a
would
disaster.
want like
not knowing the
want
actual
people
details
to
of this,
root
using
for
my
you to get back together with them, or would you want people to like be on your side and be like, this was too much. You got to move on.
Well, like it was too much because theoretically because it was the secret, and now she's making a gesture. It can be open. It doesn't have to be a secret. Like there was the problem. There is a fix for the problem. If that was the problem, sure, why not? Why wouldn't that be fixable? Like there's probably other things going on, right? There's other issues to work on, but if this is the fundamental thing,
I honestly don't really get like how it would take you 13 years to decide, okay, I am fed up with this being a secret. It's like you're a little deep at that point. So that's why I kind of feel like we're missing something here.
oh yeah, we do not 100% have the whole story, and it wasn't 100% that it had to be a secret. There's some like he spent a lot of time just doing everything to support her, and then, you know, switching to focusing on himself changed the dynamic, and maybe that there's resentment in there, and like there's lots of shit that's part of this that we don't know about. But I still think, you know, they could give it a chance.
Like if two people, or if one person decides they want to break up, that means there's a reason they want to break up. And if you don't want to be with somebody, I support you wanting to break up with that person. And then from the other person's perspective, if that person wants to break up with you, I support that person moving on from that person because they decided they want to break up with you. So in general, I'm just like, okay, there was a reason these people broke up. I support their breakup. Like that's just kind of how I feel about all these things. And unless I hear very specific, like there is an interest, like if what you were saying about Hui Hyun is like a little bit different, where it's like you're saying he broke up with her because of his own personal issues. About how he felt about himself. Like that seemed recoverable, but it seemed like something happened here where there was a reason to break up. Like maybe a real reason to break up, as opposed to that almost seems like
but like
reason to break up. But
there can be real reasons to break up that can be fixable, that can be worked on. And just because somebody breaks up with you doesn't mean you can't be like, oh, this was the problem we were fixing. Let me offer you the I am going to work on it. Is that something you're interested in? No? Okay, then we can be separate. But it's here on offer if you want to try again. You know, like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but just by default, I'm just going to support the breakup.
You're watching the wrong show, my dude, because that's not what this show wants at all.
Hey, I agree. I'm definitely watching the wrong show, but we're here anyway. Now, if you got some money for getting your ex to pick you in the end, now we're talking.
No. That is no, that's some shady bullshit right there. No,
because if you get invited on the show, it's like, okay, your ex probably feels something about you, but maybe they're inviting you on the show just to fool you and get the money.
No, that show should never, do not speak this show into existence. No,
that's a TV show. Okay. Again, why would anybody sign up for that show? I don't know, but they probably would. Okay. Yeah, so everybody was crying.
Yeah, most people were crying.
Jongdin, except for me, yeah. Dongjin cut the string. Dahae doesn't cut the string, but claims that she wanted to. I don't know. The words that people choose to say. She didn't cut the string. Factual information.
Okay.
I like it. I like the string segment. A lot of the other segments, did I care for any of the, like, here's a thing that we're going to do? I don't think so. Other than the string thing, I think everything else I didn't really. I think the other things become more valuable once you know who the exes are.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited to find out who all the exes are, and for the multiple X twist. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be really good.
Yeah. So, final guesses on who is.
Oh, I'm going with.
Got 4 people left.
I'll say the other 4 don't have their ex in the house. That feels right.
Okay, I'm gonna say Gwante and Yujung do not have exes in the house, but Juwon and Seokhyun are together.
The multiple exes thing is what I want to happen, but it's less likely that that's the case. I'll say that Yujong, not Yujong. I'll say Juwon's ex is not in the house.
Okay.
And then, what the hell?
Who
did Dahae text? I mean, not Dahae. Seokhyun. Who did Seokhyun text? I just had no the only person I saw her interacting with was like Hui Hyun and Dongjin, like a little bit, and then she didn't text either of them. Or maybe she did.
Did text Dongjin.
Maybe she did text Dongjin. I guess there's a chance that happened.
And then Dahae texted Kwante and
then
was
Dongjin,
even more respectful of.
And then Dongjin and. Oh, you think Dongjin texted Yujong? And so Juwon and Kwante texted Seokhyun? That just seems so random. I don't know what's going on here. Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna no, screw it. Other 4 don't have their ex in the house. Screw it.
Okay.
Because if they did, we should have known about it by now. That's how I feel. And if there didn't, that makes more sense to me. Why we don't know.
Okay.
Why they could have revealed an X at the end of episode 2. That would have made a lot of sense. But they just didn't have enough couples to reveal, so they had to save them up.
Want to take their time, parse it out. They only have so many couples to reveal.
Man, I just want to know. And then we can move on to the stage 2 of the TV show where at least we as the viewers can know the information.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but
it didn't sound like it.
I can't not complain about the things that bother me. Okay. I think what it is like, I don't mind having it on and just absorbing the vibes.
Okay.
But it's a little cumbersome to be like, all right, I have to pay attention to everything they're saying because I'm doing a podcast on this show, you know? It's a little cumbersome because it's so long and there's so many segments that I don't feel are super interesting to watch. And it's the show's about causing so much emotional pain for you with your ex. It's just a little dark. The show's a little dark, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I mean, not as dark as that show you just made up. But yeah, pretty. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the other show, they also know what they're getting into. I don't know. It's dark, but it's a dating show. It's like pure dating show. Whereas, like, if the show was just you knew it was about making money. Also, it's like, okay, this is a different vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe this is my issue. Like, I also just don't have a ton of experience with being around exes or being around like somebody's ex. So like nothing in the show triggers anything like personally for me in any way.
Okay.
And maybe that's what I struggle with the most. Like I don't want to make assumptions about the people that like this show, but I would imagine like maybe you're more able to grasp onto the storylines if maybe you've had an experience that lines up with something that's happening on the TV show. But I just do not.
Okay, maybe.
Okay. Hey, we're here. We're gonna watch it all.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed that, come back because the next time we talk about Transit Love 3, we'll be talking about episodes 4, 5, and 6. We're gonna be doing another 3 episodes. There is a new show coming out on February 26th called Deal or No Deal Island.
This sounds ridiculous.
Which is going to be on NBC. I believe at 9:30. It's like an hour and a half premiere. Depending on how interesting that show is, I might want a podcast about that show. If it's like just kind of like silly, fun shenanigans. Yeah, if people don't remember Deal or No Deal is like the Howie Mandel hosted show where people just like chose a briefcase and then they kept opening briefcases and then a banker would like offer them money and then they would have to be like take the money or say no deal and like keep opening more cases until like they could go all the way and open up the case that they picked and it could have like $1 million in it. So the concept of Deal or No Deal Island is like they're on the banker's private island and they're going to do like challenges in the jungle to like find cases. And then like the winners of the challenge get to like go have a Deal or No Deal battle against the banker. And then they add money to the prize pool. But somehow like only one person can win in the end. And I don't know how that works. And the potential prize pool of the show is $200 million, and there's only 13 people on the show. I'm so confused. It must be like theoretically, like if you get the perfect amount of luck, which is impossible, like you could get up to $200 million, but like
they did the math and the like average the people are gonna get is like much lower.
Yeah, like I want to say there's no way the winner of the show is gonna win more money than Squid Game, right? Squid Game the challenge.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That was like $4.5 million, and that was like way more than any other show ever. Like, I don't think it's gonna be that crazy.
Yeah, especially because like Deal or No Deal was all about the math of we'll pay you this, which is less than what we'll probably have to pay you if you have the best possible path, right? Like it's all about averages and
yeah,
not paying out that much money, right? Like
yeah.
They figured it out.
And yeah, that show was all about like finding people who just would like never take the deal. Because like I kind of got into like watching reruns of that show for a couple weeks because I found it on the Game Show Network, and I was like thinking about it. It was like if I ever got triple digits, like I think I would just take the deal. Like depending on how many cases I'd open, but like am I in a position in my life where like if somebody was like, here's $100,000, and I was like, you know what, let's take that money to the casino before you give it to me. I feel like you just let's just take the money at that point. Like I'll go invest that money. In 15 years there'll be a lot more money. So I would never get casted on Deal or No Deal because I'm too logical about it. But I don't know. Like, what's intriguing to me about the show is that Boston Rob from Survivor, a 4-time Survivor player, is just randomly on this Deal or No Deal island. So at least either he got offered a bunch of money to be on the show, or he believed in the show. I don't know. He agreed to come on the show. I feel like he wouldn't come on the show if it was a total joke, but we'll see if that's true or not. So he must at least have liked the idea of the show.
Yeah.
So I have some hope. I think one of the in the original Deal or No Deal, they had the case girls who would open the cases, and there was 30 of them or however many cases there were. I think one of the case girls is one of the contestants on the show. So
okay.
That's
come
as
in
far
full circle.
That's as far as I gotten as far as looking at the cast. But yeah, I think that could be fun. It could be fun to talk about. It might be worth maybe taking a short break from Transit Love at some point to maybe do a Deal or No Deal Island podcast. So next time we'll probably be talking about Transit Love 3, and then maybe we'll throw Deal or No Deal in Island. And if Deal or No Deal Island isn't super interesting, I don't think it'll be fun to talk about. I'll just give an update quick at the beginning of the podcast about what's going on in Deal or No Deal Island. Yeah. So that's the plan. Transit Love 3 episodes 4, 5, and 6. Anything else, Sarah?
No, I think that's all the things.
Okay. Where can people contact us?
People can email us at keepwatchingpod@gmail.com, or tweet at us at keepwatchingpod, Instagram at us at keepwatchingpod, or leave a comment under the video on YouTube also at keepwatchingpod. And if you want to tell us if you want the top bunk or the bottom bunk or a second floor bedroom or a first floor bedroom, you can leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
All right. Cut the ribbon. Who you
don't cut the ribbon.
Who are you, if you had a ribbon for every contestant on the show, are you cutting any of the ribbons?
Ooh, I'm not cutting any ribbons yet.
I mean, I have to watch the show.
You're cutting all of the ribbons.
All of them? In terms of dating, I would definitely be cutting some. I'm really worried about Hyewon in terms of how I'm gonna feel about her as her story progresses. But yeah, I mean, I'm watching the show. I guess I can't. I guess in terms of just being a viewer of the show, I guess I shouldn't cut any of the ribbons. But yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I'm not dating the person who's crying all over the house. It's not happening. Okay. That's messy as hell.
Yeah, but last season the person who came out of nowhere and did that is now still in that relationship.
And
so
I'm still confident I would not want to be in a relationship with that person. I'm so confident about that.
Yes, I agree, 100%.
Alrighty. We good?
I think we're good.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.